All right, everybody, we are back, and I think we are ready to go, if I am not mistaken. We are ready to go with the next event. I am very excited for this. Now, as a reminder, we are sitting at $2,094.56 out of 4,000. We want to try to get that as far up the number as we possibly can. If we can get this up to, like 3,000 today or something like that, it's going to be great. Now, you just saw, earlier on, you saw an interview. Yesterday, you saw the epic conclusion of Esper Genesis. Earlier on today, you had an interview with 3 amazing research scientists from the Damon Running Cancer Research Foundation. Then you had a chance to see a big combat against hardened mercenaries in a flaming mead hall. Flaming house. So we had that going on. And now you've got something which is going to be something which alters and illuminates our time in our one-shot adventure with our GOG players. And so I'm going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly to those I probably have interrupted without hearing them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last, I'm going to slide over to reveal to all of you that we are here with the crew. We are ready to go, and I am most excited for this because before you, what you see are the combined talents of my GOG players, with one exception. Two exceptions in a way. One is that Fleos plays with us occasionally, although we would love to have Fleos as often as he's able to come. But he's with us today, which is very exciting. But the other thing is that we do not have Pyron Jade here today because Pyron is rocking out with Elton John. But I have heard a rumor that Pyron may or may not actually be in chat. And may or may not actually be involved with having helped with one of the characters today. So we will talk a little bit about that when we get there. With 2 Welsh people, there's not a chance we'd understand what they're saying anyhow. If you had heard what was going on in the green room, there would have been an interesting discussion about that very thing. Either way, though, I want to say that right now we are the 3rd top D&D stream on Twitch right now as we speak, and I want that to continue. And also, I see a very strong presence of GOG.com people, and so if you want to be able to support them, we are here to support the Damon Running Cancer Research Foundation. As we all know, the most important competition is how much money each group is raising. That's really about their personal glory. So if you want them to receive that personal glory, you all know what you have to do in stepping up here with !donate and making that happen. It's going to be a good time. So I'm going to tell them what the title of this adventure is, and then I'm going to introduce them because they are going to be playing an adventure called The Pie Fight. And I thought it was appropriate, since we don't have a pie with us, so to speak, that we have a pie fight. And you will hear more about this in just a moment. But before we go any further, let me introduce all the wonderful folks to you, beginning with the gentleman directly across next to me, and that is one Dark Saber 2K, who is with us. Saber, thank you so much for being here. Please tell us, first of all, how everything's going with you, and who are you playing in today's one-shot adventure?
Everything is great. It's always good to be here. Like I said, I do have a soft spot for ArvCon because this was officially the first time I ever got to play D&D.
I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, wow, that's super cool. Yeah.
That was like 6 years ago now, I think we working it out.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
it's always great to get to come back here and help because it's a great cause and we always have a great laugh and the community is always excellent. And on that note, I am tonight, for one night only, I will be a dragonborn monk called Mindy Mewn the Dragon. Mindy Mewn, I'll point this out right now. Mindy Mewn is the closest in Welsh you can get to enter. So you can work out the name from that.
Such a classic, good movie. Okay. And actually, while we're talking, I realized I also have to put this on my own little notes. So, the dragon, Saber. A dragonborn monk. Hit points for you, Mindy.
Yes. I've just realized I'm going to be called Mindy a lot tonight. Oh, well.
Should I call you? Wait. What's Mind? Mund?
Mind will work.
Mind? Okay. I'll try to call you Mind, not Mindy. Mind.
Hit points 35.
35 hit points for Mind. Yes, I should say, by the way, chat, that these folks are all level 6. On this one-shot adventure. So Mind is 35 hit points. Thank you, Mind. Also happy to see Peripheral Mike with us today. Mike has returned, and normally you will find Mike, of course, in both, along with Saber, you will find Saber and Mike in both Talisman Adventures and D&D with GOG Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But today, Mike is here with someone different. So first of all, welcome, Mike. Thank you for being here as always. How's life with you, and who's your character for today's adventure?
life is absolutely amazing because I get to play a D&D one shot with you people. This is awesome. I've been so excited by this. I've been inconsolably. I was literally up at 6:30 this morning, and I was just like, I'm so excited for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not even kidding. I've been so excited. So I'm expecting the next 20 minutes I'm just going to crash and burn. But I have caffeine with me, so I'm okay.
You'll be fine.
But my character today is a gentleman by the name of Gwyn McTwisp, who is a Herongon cleric. Now, for those of you who do not know what Herongons are, they're basically giant rabbits. And he is obsessed, slightly obsessed. He's been on a pursuit to find out the mysteries of time and the multiverse. He's basically been reading every single book under the sun and has been investigating everything he can in regards to time and the multiverse. So stay tuned.
And hit points for Gwyn McTwisp.
Gwyn McTwisp, hit points 45.
45. Lovely. All right, moving right along. In the middle of your screen, in the middle of the row, in the middle of our hearts, you see with us undeveloped Bruce, who of course is with our Talisman Adventures crew, and it's very good to see Bruce back with us. Normally, Bruce plays Weddle, but that is not what Bruce is playing today. So welcome, Bruce, again. I should have said to Mike also, thank you for taking your time on the weekend, like I said to Saber. Same thing, thank you for taking time out to do this, Bruce. And how's life with you, and who are you playing in today's one-shot adventure?
Oh, hi. Oh, my. Hi, I'm Bruce. And apparently I decided to be like super kawaii today. So, yep. Life with me is great. I took my dog for a really long walk in the day. She went to the beach for the first time. Ooh. I adopted her 6 weeks ago. I thought that since we'd been at the beach for 2 hours, she would not want her evening walk. But then like 7 o'clock, she was just like, I'm ready. Let's go. Come on. I know you've walked 8 kilometers today, Bruce, but come on, another walk. So I'm feeling great. And today I am playing a cat.
Right. You were playing a cat. So more specifically, what kind of cat and class?
A cat. Sort of, not quite ginger, like a sandy yellow color.
Do we have a class for said cat?
Yeah, he's a druid.
All right. A cat druid is what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Good stuff. And hit points, please, Waldo.
Currently 2.
2. 2 hit points. And we've got the fanfare. Hold on. We got the fanfare. I got to get to it. Oh, God, this thing. Wispy Song. Wispy Song is Wispy Song is donated because it was frustrating Wispy Song about the amounts here. $1.44 to bring us up as a consequence of that to, I believe that's going to bring us up to 2096 exactly. So we are now at 2096 out of 4,000. Thank you so much. Thank you to keep the numbers. It's that battle between even and odd. But thank you, Bruce. I'm excited to see how the 2 hit point cat druid accomplishes what is needed to be accomplished. Moving right along across the line, we are of course gifted by, I can't say our favorite Canadian because all the other Canadians would be mad at me who have been in the part of this. So I have to just say one of our favorite Canadians who is not only an awesome person, but also is responsible for the D&D with GOG audio podcast that you are currently hearing of Storm King's Thunder. So Fleos is an officer and a gentleman. It's good to see you, Fleos. I'm glad we're getting a chance to play together again. How is life with you, and who are you playing in today's one-shot adventure?
Things are good, thanks. I'm super excited to be here. It's been a long time since schedules have lined up so that I could join in and playing D&D with you folks. And so yeah, hopefully I don't just seize up from nervousness and being like, oh, hide in my shell, but I'll try. So today I am playing a character named Nicolaus Mira. But he's going to go by Nick most of the time, probably more for my sake than anyone else's. Also, he's an older gentleman. And so I'm going to try, that's the operative word here, try and invoke my memories of my long deceased grandfather when speaking as him, but I don't know how long my voice can handle talking like this. So we'll try it out, but it'll probably go back to my normal voice pretty quick. And So Nick is a sorcerer.
What human sorcerer?
Oh,
Or-
pardon me. Yes, you think it's that he's a human sorcerer. He's got kind of a long white beard, but
think?
as you take a quicker peek, you might notice his ears are a little more pointy, and you know he's probably of both human and elvish heritage.
All
So
right.
he's a half elf.
Half elf sorcerer. And do we have a hit point total, please?
32, which was good rolls.
32 HP. All right. I love it.
Yeah.
And also, while we were doing this, the fanfare went off because Classic Or donated 1678 with the comment, even numbers, nope. So the war is on. I just want to be clear about that between odd and even numbered people. And so that's going to bring us to 211278. This is, by the way, why I'm not going to continue to resize this, because this is just going to go back and forth, I can see, all afternoon. So let's keep that going. I love it. And I love hearing about Nick, Myra. So thank you, Fleos. And last but certainly not least, of course, and Fleos has been a guest star through Storm King's Thunder and through the previous adventures as well on occasion. I might be able to talk to Fleos about maybe sometime doing a little bit of a guest turn as in Saltmarsh. Let's hope that happens. A quick actual note while I'm thinking about that. Fleos, I know your schedule is always hard to do this, but if you're able to let me know ever, like, hey, I might have this free, please let me know, just because I'll keep that in mind. Moving right along the line, someone who is currently part of our Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign, and that, of course, is Ananda, who is here with us. Ananda, it's good to see you. I hope all is well with you. How is life? And who is your character? I know normally you play a water genasi, but not today. Today you are playing someone different. So how's life and who's your character for today?
I am ticking along. Thank you so much. I was streaming over on GOG earlier, had a break, had a bit of food. Excuse me if I'm snacking on breadsticks during the stream. I promise I'll mute myself so you can't hear me. Today I am playing what I'm going to call a collaboration with the wonderful Pyre and Jade. I was really busy over the last couple of days, so Pi very kindly rolled this character for me. And I've changed the surname only because I'm going to attempt the one and only accent that I can role play in without thinking too hard. Where is there a sixth player space? Because it's there in honor of you, Pi.
Yeah, it's like the seat perilous in the round table. You know, no one can take that over. So right now, it's just a D&D at symbol. That's what it's about. If you'd like, I could put Elton John's face there, Pi. Just kidding. Okay, so you are playing that person. And what is the name and class of said person?
Yes, I am playing Edith Scrumpy. She is a human ranger, and she was a simple farmer, born on the farm, but got lost slightly in the Feywild, and that awakened the wanderlust. So now me and my trusty rooster, Roger, are on the road looking for adventure. And yeah, you can find me with Roger quite snugly by my side.
And what kind of, and so what class are
Ranger.
you? Oh, I'm sorry, you said ranger. Human ranger?
Human ranger, yeah.
Human ranger. And do we have a hit point total, please?
I do. It would appear that I've got the highest HP of the party. That doesn't bode well.
85.
58.
No. Okay, 58. All righty. So here you go, chat. We have before us, we have got Mind. We have got Mind, right? Not Mind. Mind. We've got Gwyn, Mindimune, the dragon. We've got Gwyn, the dragon. Yes, that's right. Actually, that's correct. I was about to be annoyed at myself, and that's actually 100% correct. The Dragonborn monk. We have Gwyn McTwisp, the Harengon cleric. We have Waldo the Worthy, the cat druid. We have Nikolaus, Nick Myra, the half-elf sorcerer. And we have Edith. Did I hear you say Scrump-y?
Scrump.
It is Scrump. Okay, for a minute I thought you said Scrumpy, and I was like, okay, there's obviously some part of English that I'm not understanding, and I'm just, you know. So there we go. So we have got those ready to go, and that means, chat, that all we are missing is our adventure. And so as I pull this up, here we go. And again, remember everybody, ! Donate for your chance to become part of this community affair as we move things forward. So Here we go. You are here, adventurers, in a town which is a festival. It is a particular kind of festival, and it is specifically the fifth. I'll go even further than that. All of you are standing at the edge of town as there are festivities that are clearly afoot and ready. Because the street in the town where you live has been turned into a colorful fairgrounds. And in case you're curious, the town that you are in is known as Goglandia. Goglandia has been around for a considerable period of time. And as you sort of walk down the streets, you can see that there are many street names as you pass them that are that have sort of clear significance with them. There's a Outstar Avenue. There is a Pyranjade Place. There is a Fleo's Fountain. There is just multiple things of this type, right? As you go along, kind of making your way down the streets. And Goglandia is a fairly well-to-do place. It is ruled from some distance by Lord Commodore Shatterfury. And as you are making your way down towards the center of Goglandia, you can see the street that you're down has been turned into a colorful fairground. Now, the reason all of you have come is because, as you just happen to find yourself walking down the same street at the same time, because you have heard rumors of this festival that I'm about to describe. There are streamers and flags of all colors flying in the breeze. There are tents with outlandish images painted on them that are covering stalls of various goods. Jesters call out to the excited crowd, inviting anyone to enter into games for prizes. In the distance, you can hear a rollicking band of musicians. Maybe. Nope. Too sad. Nope. Too sad.
Are any of the
Also too sad.
musicians playing a curse?
Hold on. Yeah, exactly. No, I want faster than that.
Excellent in-joke.
That's more what I'm talking about. Great. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, as they say. All right. So there is a group of musicians that are filling the air with energetic joy. And on a massive banner that is overhanging the entranceway to the festival grounds, you can see painted in bright red letters, "Welcome to the 5th Annual Memorial Pie Crafting Tournament and Festival, sponsored by Lord Commodore Shatterfury and the Dessert Council." As you're sort of walking into this, and there's a fanfare, which is really dramatic and important, I think, here. If I'm not mistaken, Wispy Song has continued the war between them and Classicor by adding 2222 to the mix so that we can get back to a nice round number, apparently as God intended. So that's going to bring us up to 2135. I love it. Please keep it up. I love this war. Let's just continue the battle between odd and not odd numbers and not round numbers, I should say. So as you are making your way down this, you can see that there are numerous kinds of stalls, and there are what looks like a lot of contests and events. You can see just from where you're standing that there is a stall full of shelves of canned jams and jellies that is labeled in gorgeous calligraphy. You can see there is a large wooden platform festooned with ribbons, and someone is standing there banging away, and I just saw another donation, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, banging away on a pot with a big wooden spoon and saying, "The next pie-eating contest will begin shortly. Come forth if you wish to eat a pie. Come forth if you wish to prove your pie-eating worthiness," etc. And banging away on the pot. So you've got that's nearby. You've also got nearby, slightly off the main road, a large pen, and you can hear mooing from it because it's filled with cows, and a new sign on a wooden post reads "Milking Contest." There's also the group of musicians that you can hear, as you can see from this distance, is actually what looks like a group of lizard folk bards. They seem to be singing while playing bongos, a banjo, a lute, an upright bass, whole bunch of instruments over there, and there's people dancing in front of them. There are vendors selling and sampling all kinds of pies. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of stuff that people could technically check out and do. So as you folks are walking along, I'm curious from hearing from each of you why you have come to attend this festival. And then you're going to tell me a little bit about what you as a group who have been brought together here, just sort of walking along the road at the same time, what you're going to do collectively. So let's start the other direction. Edith, why are you here for the 5th annual pie eating contest festival, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I heard about this contest from a traveler on the road. It must have been a few days ago now. And I said to Roger, I said, well, if anybody could be able to win a pie eating contest, it's someone that grew up around pies. And now that I hear there's a milking contest, that seems right up my street. So that's where I'm going to be heading as soon as we get into town.
I am excited to see it. And before I go any further, I want to thank Darksaber2K for contributing $123.45, $123.45 to bring us to a total of $22.58.45. Thank you very much, Saber,
win
for
this
that.
day.
Exactly. There, not on my watch will there be round numbers. Thank you so much, Saber. All right, so Edith is going to be looking at that milking contest. All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. Nick, what brings you to the 5th annual, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, it's what I get for living on Mega Pie Man Street. Of course, they'd have a pie eating contest every single year. It's noisy, kids. I just want to have my nap, but it smells fantastic. So I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna eat some pie and I'm gonna play some music with those bards if they'll let me. I don't know if they'll let me or not. We'll see what goes on, but I'm definitely having some of that pie.
I'm assuming the Mega Pie Man Street that you live is generally a quiet hour silent one, right? That's a very deep cut inside joke for GOG folks. He would be very upset with me if he heard. All right, so
there's
Nick
also a strange chair. I don't know what that's about.
That's
strapped to it. No.
Yes, and apparently a sword lying on it that seems to move occasionally. So we've got for Nick is going to be going to the Lizard Bards. Edith is going to be going to the milking contest, as we'll talk about in a little bit. And by the way, people going to one thing, more than one person can go to one thing. I'm just letting you know that, you don't have to feel like if it's already taken, if someone else would like to do it. Wispy Song has added $1.55. I see how this is going to go, to bring us up to $22.60. $22.60 out of 4,000. Thank you, Wispy Song, for the donation. All right, moving right along over, we get to Waldo. Waldo, what brings you to the 5th annual Memorial Pie Eating Contest and that sort of thing? And what seems good to you in these places? Yes. So, can I ask which direction Waldo is going to be walking?
Yes. Waldo was wandering around and saw a rooster. And is going to be following the rooster around at a distance. Stalking the rooster, you may say. Stalking
the rooster, which means that as Edith heads over to the milking contest, Waldo is going to be stalking the rooster, which is going with Edith. So that is good to know. Okay, then we've got Gwyn McTwisp. Gwyn, what brings you to this town for the 5th Memorial Pie Eating Competition, etc.?
What? I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm not here for a pie eating contest. Oh, no, my friend is far too busy for that. But however, I don't really remember the last time I ate. No time to eat, you see. I'm researching the universe and the multiverse and time, and it's a fascinating subject. However, I was told by somebody on the road that Goglandia has a great scriptorium, and I was wondering if I could visit it, but those pies do smell quite delicious, I'm not going to lie. So I may just have a quick visit to the pie eating contest.
So the pie eating contest is going to be the destination for Gwyn McTwisp. And while this has been going on, we have had another contribution from Classicor as the war continues. And we have $3.14, bringing us to $22.63.14 as the battle as the battle for round versus not round continues. Okay, so Gwyn is going to be heading to the pie eating contest. And last but certainly not least, what brings Mind to this town, to Goglandia, in an attempt to deal with the 5th annual memorial pie eating contest?
While the path to enlightenment is a worthwhile cause to dedicate oneself to, the ways of the monastery and their frugal meals and drinks and their restraint, they're somewhat not for me, and I like to venture into the cities whenever I have an opportunity to avail myself of the finest food and drink I can find. And I would like to make my way to the nearest place that looks like it's selling alcohol of some description.
All right, so we are looking at I see where this is going already, actually. So we've got looking for alcohol. All right. Let's see. I am actually going to give chat a chance to weigh in on this. And what I'm going to ask chat for is, which would they like to see first? Do we want to see Mind deal with the alcohol? Do we want to see Gwyn McTwisp with the pie eating contest? Do we want to see the milking contest being attended by Edith, Roger, and, although we don't know this yet, or Edith doesn't know it yet, Waldo the Worthy? And do we want to see Nick with the Lizard Bards? So what have we got? We got Mind and alcohol, Gwyn and pie eating contest, Waldo and Edith with the milking contest, and Nick with the Lizard Bards. So what are we looking at here, chat? Milk those cows, alcohol, milk the cows, booze, alcohol always. All right, so we've got 3 alcohols and we've got 2 milks. We've got 2 lizards. Oh, we got another milk the cows. More milk. Oh, milk is taking over. Yeah, milk is pulling away. Milk is pulling away. All right. It looks like, yep, milk the cows. All right. It's definitive. Okay. So we are going to milk the cows first. So as the party, I should say, as Edith, as you make your way over, you occasionally hear, and Waldo, as you're stalking, are you trying to be like cat stealthy stalking? Like, you know what I mean? Like trying to literally stalk the rooster in an attempt to at some point leap out at it? Or are you just kind of following in a cat casual sort of way?
Very, very casual. You know, the thing is, if you're sneaking around and someone sees you, you get embarrassed because you obviously weren't very good at sneaking. But if you're casual, you know, you don't even care if they notice you. Whatever.
All right, so then you're following along. Edith, I would like you to make a perception check for me, please.
I can do that. I'm going to have to type in all of my rolls, so apologies for that. So I've got a +2 on perception. Yeah, it's totally unperceptive. I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. Okay. So my die roller is not refreshing for some reason. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so all you're really focused on then, it seems to me, is this milking contest. And as you get up to the gate to the pen, you can see that there is a female halfling in kind of these working leathers, and there's a bright scarf tied around her head to keep hair out of her eyes. And you can hear her saying, all right, everyone, come right up. You can milk these cows, and you can do something both good for the cows and good for yourself. All right, you can do so. And remember, All of these cows are taken directly from Cassandra Hedgehopper's farm. The finest cows you'll find in Goglandia. These aren't those cheap second-rate cows. All of these cows don't have anything associated with them. You don't have to pay extra for these cows. When you own the cow, you own it. You don't have to worry about renting the cow, about leasing the cow. You don't have to take any of the milk and give it to some other cow. This cow is yours, as you can see. Look, and it sees you, Edith, and you look like just the person we need. I can tell that you're the kind of person who's milked cows in the past. Is that true? Are you here to milk some cows?
I have milked 1 or 2 cows myself in the past. Part of the reason why I was so imperceptive about Waldo behind us is because I'm busy rabbiting away to Roger. Oh, look, that cow reminds me of Daisy back on our farm. I hope he gives up as much milk. So I absolutely walk up. So yes, I'm very interested in milking your cows. Can you please tell me if there are any rules about your cow milking contest?
Well, of course. The way this is going to work is, you see, you've got 5 cows over there and 5 stools. Now, these cows, let's be clear, and there's a little bit of a group of people that have now gathered. Let's be clear. These are the best cows, as I've mentioned, you're going to find in Goglandia. These are absolutely pure. They're the finest organic cows that you'll discover. These are also free-range cows. They're also vegan cows. They're not even made of beef. They're made of vegetables. These are cows that are the most organic and safe cows that you could possibly find. These are sustainably managed cows you got here. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit right on a stool underneath, and you're going to pull away at those udders, and you can see they're ready for you. And all the cows, the cows are like, kind of looking over their shoulder, like at you. And you're going to be milking them. And the first one who can get this bucket filled is going to be the winner of it. And the winner is going to receive this. And she holds up this little, what looks like an ornate cowbell that is made of brass. And it looks really pretty. And then you see that there's a massive H that's been etched on the side of it. And she says, "This'll be yours." And of course, it's an authentic Hedgehopper bell. Make sure that you tell everyone about that when you see it. And you can see that the H actually is part of her name, which wraps around the bell, that she somehow paid to have everything etched on this bell. And she rings it. Ding, 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 ding. So, and she says, "You can't say no to that, can you?" And a couple people there's a burly farmer or two that's like, "These people don't have a chance. I'll milk your damn cows." And she says, "Well, very good, sir. Right over there. And if you could go to DRM over there, that's right on the side over there." And he goes to the 4th cow. And then she says, "So, what do you think?" She says to you, Edith.
Can I, with my extensive farming knowledge, tell which would be a quality cow?
The one that is next to DRM, it seems to be like they're a very good, sturdy cow, good stock, from what you can tell.
Okay, in which case I'm gonna tip my non-existent hat and make my way with Roger in tow over to that cow.
And she says, "It's a good one. You're sitting over there at free." So as we have the 2 cows, DRM free, right next to each other. Meanwhile, there are 3 cows left available. And Waldo, as you come up, she looks down and Cassandra, a Hedgehopper, says, "Oh, and isn't it a bonny cat then? Yes, it's good to see you. You're here for, I can give you some milk after the cow's milked. Are you?" And she sort of sees that you're looking up with very intelligent eyes. And, "Well, what can I do for you?" She's sort of looking at you.
Waldo walks then completely ignores her and walks over to the next cow over and just sits there and waits for the contest to begin.
All right. And she says, "Oh, you've picked a good one there. Oh, that's Kitty. We call her that because she likes cats." Anyway, so you see Waldo just literally up on a stool, sitting there. And then so we've got Edith, then we've got the burly farmer. Edith is at free, burly farmer is at DRM, Waldo is sitting at Kitty, and then there are 2 more that are left. And of those, you can see that there is a young boy, probably maybe 9 or 10 years old, who comes over and sits down. Tanned skin, looks like he's been out in the sun, maybe doing a fair bit of work with this as well. So we've got that. And then the last thing is one other person comes over, kind of this kind of a gruff woman who sort of walks over and a bunch of amateurs and sits down at the last cow. Now, here is the way this is going to work. So the idea is to get as much milk from the cow as possible in 1 minute. So what I'm going to ask Waldo and Edith to do is the following. The skills that you can use here are animal handling. I would take nature, if you have that, to know how to milk a cow. I would take sleight of hand to deftly do the correct motions. I would even conceivably be willing to accept performance, since there are some that say that singing to a cow will help them produce more milk. The first one to get 3 successful checks will win with the most milk, and the ties will be broken by who rolled highest on the last check. So we're going to do this in order from first down to last. So we're going to start with the one that's far to the left. This is the gruff woman, followed by the boy, followed by Waldo, followed by the burly farmer, and then finally with Edith at the end. Okay? So we're going to start with this. And let's actually do this openly, I think. So let's see. We're going to start with... All right, we're going to start with this. Okay, so the first one fails. This is the person who claimed everyone was an amateur. That apparently didn't work out too well. It's kind of like, this cow's defective, as they're working on it. The second person over is the boy. And the boy here actually does exceedingly well. As you can see, a natural 20 on that. And so just you can hear the sound of streams of milk hitting the pail. And that leads us to you, Waldo. What skill are you going to use to attempt to milk this cow?
Animal handling.
That seems appropriate. I love the image of you taking 2 paws and just All right, let's see that animal. Yeah, exactly. Let's see the animal handling skill then, if we can, please. A 15, that's enough. So you do this, and deftly Waldo is, and the woman, the gruff woman, looks over and, "Oi, is that a cat competing? We're letting a cat in here." All right, that moves us down to the fourth person, which is the burly farmer guy. And the burly farmer is going to roll and is going to fail terribly. So far, the gruff woman and burly farmer have not been able to get any milk going. We have gotten some from the boy and from Waldo, and that leads us to Edith. All right, what are you using for this, Edith?
I am going to use animal handling as well.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Which I am also proficient in. 22.
Wow, so just stink. All right, so far we've had 3 successes and 2 fails, basically. That brings us up to the top. We're going to see whether Gruff Woman can have a better success this time around. Apparently not. She critically fails. She actually, I think, kind of bangs herself in the face with her own fist. "Ah, God, stupid cows. What kind of cows are you selling here?" And the halfling says cheerfully, "The kind that milk if you do it properly." And then the boy is going to roll again. And is going to, this time is only going to get an 8, and so does not succeed. The milk seems to have slowed down. Waldo, that leads us to you.
Waldo is going to roll onto his back, and he's going to, all in it, use all 4 paws.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's clearly important. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, sting. Waldo continues to, you're about, the pail is closing in on 2/3 full as the milk is coming out at a fast rate. That leads us to the burly farmer guy. And the burly farmer guy is going to end up with a 12, and that's not enough. So burly farmer continues to fail. And that brings us to Edith. You can see that currently the person who's in the lead is clearly the cat.
I'm going to use animal handling once again. 12.
12 is just enough, actually. Actually, the other one, I take that back. The burly farmer did actually get it. I'm sorry, we're looking at a DC of 12. So yes, you do actually succeed. So we now have Waldo with 2 successes, Edith with 2 successes. The boy does not have 2 successes. I think you're the only 2 who have the 2 successes. So as we come back around to the front, the gruff woman, looking very red in the face and annoyed, now gets a 5. So now she starts actually she goes to slap the udder of the cow, but instead slaps herself, because this is what happens when you try to hurt animals. God, stupid, kicking away. Some people, there's now a crowd that's gathered, and they're starting to laugh at the woman, just like, I thought they were the amateurs, Kanisa. And just, shut up, you. And that leads us to the boy. Let's see if the boy is able to get the job done here. Now the thing is going again. The boy now has 2 successes as well. Waldo, here we go. You need to get 3 total successes, so we'll see if you can do that on this round, Waldo, as you proceed.
Waldo is now also doing a little bit of feathery tickling with the tail to just, calm the cow a little.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay. All right. Let's see. So that is going to be a 19 success from Waldo. So it's gonna be up to Edith to tie us up here in just a minute. First of all, we will have the burly farmer roll, and this time it does not work out for the burly farmer. So really, this is a 2-person contest. It's really up to Edith now. Can Edith tie Waldo? And then we're gonna see who got the highest roll. So let's go to it. Edith, let's see how you do.
Edith is also going to try and soothe the cow by singing a very strange version of Edith Scrumpado, Little Farm, E-I, E-I, stroking the cow as she goes. 18.
Okay, now, so as they said, the tie is who rolled highest on the last check. That's Waldo. So in a barely beating it out. So the cat wins, and Cassandra comes over and, well, look, everyone, we've got a winner. We've got a winner. It's going to be now. While they're doing this, Waldo and Edith, I would like you both to make perception checks for me. And by the way, while you're making these perception checks, Waldo, Cassandra's bending down as if she's willing to tie the bell around your neck if you want. It's a little bell, but it's up to you.
Perception check for me is 8.
Okay. Waldo, am I looking at a 26? Is that what's there? Okay. Before I go any further, what do you think about the bell around the neck, or is that a no?
Oh, no, I'll have a bell.
Okay, so she does, it's a very pretty ribbon that she ties too. But as you're doing this, Waldo, you can see that there are some suspicious characters that are loitering around the side of the pen. And suddenly you can see that they are starting to yell and stamp up and down. And Edith, your cow, Free, starts to kind of react to this. DRM begins to react to this as well. Kitty, Waldo, your cow, begins to react. They're all starting to kind of, freak out a little bit, possibly. What do you want to do about this? These ones are obviously trying to get these cows riled up.
I'm going to try and be wary of hooves and trampling and things, but try and soothe the cow.
Okay, let me have you make an animal handling check for this to soothe your cow. I'm gonna say this is +2 because you did quite well, even though you lost out to Waldo, the worthy cat.
I'm gonna do my proficiency plus the 2 as well. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I crit fail, but I got an 8.
Yeah, the crit fail is going to be, so they're, and starts to like, buckle around. Now, Waldo, you have an opportunity to kind of calm down. Well, I mean, you could do anything you want. You could calm down a cow. You could ignore it and walk casually out as the pen erupts into chaos. What do you want to do?
Quick question first. Has Roger noticed me?
I would say that's up to Edith, but Roger probably is looking around quite a bit.
I just feel like I did really well in this contest, and
You
if
did.
Roger hasn't even noticed, like, what was even the point?
That's true. Edith, would you say Roger is focused only on you, or would Roger have noticed other inputs from people?
Roger's a smart rooster. Roger not only pays attention, obviously Roger being a rooster has to be aware of the cows, but also the competition as well. So when we're all taking turns, he would have paid attention, not necessarily all the time, but yeah, he would have noticed the other competitors at least.
Okay. So yes, then Waldo, I would say that Roger would have noticed you then.
Waldo would like to also attempt to calm the cow.
Okay. Animal handling then, same for you, please. And I'll give you +2 as well because of how well you did in that contest. Let's see, we're looking at 23. Yeah, so Kitty stays calm while the rest of the pen erupts into chaos. DRM falling into Free falling into DRM. It turns out that one of the other cows is called Steam, runs right towards it and kind of bangs into DRM Free. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening around there. And Cassandra is, and is trying to settle everything down. And in the meantime, Edith, both you and Waldo see, and Roger, of course, can see that the ones who started this, stampede are making their way into the crowd.
Does the look of them differentiate them from the other crowd members?
No, they look to be same. They look to be of the same, type and relative class from what you can tell of the rest of the villagers, it appears.
How crowded are we talking? Can they just slip away, or could we see them kind of moving down the street?
It's fairly crowded, but it depends. If you were to follow them now, you could probably follow them. If not, then they might just disappear because there are a decent number of people. So it depends on how quickly you move. You could also just stay and deal with the cows. I mean, that's also fine.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the cow welfare than the people at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But also obviously making sure that Roger doesn't get trampled in the process.
Okay.
He's quite agile, nifty on his feet, on his claws. But yeah, I'm much more aware of the animals around than random people.
Okay, what about you, Waldo? Are you going to stick around here with your cow, or are you going to go after the people making their way into the crowd?
Waldo's sticking with Roger from a distance. Doesn't want to seem like he cares about Roger. I don't care about Roger.
Why would you say that, Ral? Okay, so the two of you actually together, because you're both there, and the burly farmer does what he can to calm down the cow. The gruff woman immediately upon seeing the cows basically bolts, tries to vault the fence, not very successfully. You get the impression this person, maybe doesn't have the most successful existence. Anyway, and you manage to, and you watch as the rest of the crowd kind of gathers around and eventually settles the cow down. And when you're done with all this, Cassandra is just, fit to be tied. Just like, well, you all saw it, didn't you? Hey, they tried to get my cows riled up and they were going to cause problems for people. And they've got to find them. I saw them. I saw what those ruffians looked like. And I saw one of them and I know exactly who he is. And at this point, a couple of the guards have appeared, the town guards, such as they are. And so they're talking to Cassandra and well, who was it? And she's like, one of them was Rufus. I would have seen him from anywhere. Rufus, that's the one, And they all said, well, why would Rufus do this? She said, how should I know? But I know Rufus. It's like I know me, and he was one of them. And the guards kind of, talk back and forth. So Waldo and Edith, the cows now do seem to be settled down. You could head back into town to partake of other things. You could also stick around here if you wanted to hear more about this. So it's up to you what you wanted to do.
Meow. Waldo's got a bell now.
It's a very nice bell.
Excellent. Yeah. Waldo's kind of side-eyeing what Edith and Roger are doing,
Okay.
but doesn't care. Obviously, he doesn't know.
No, just, what are Edith and Roger doing then? I think you're muted, Ananda.
Sorry. Just from like an RP point of view, now that Waldo is wearing the bell, I'm assuming they can't sneak around behind following.
Correct. It makes a
Me and
lovely
Roger?
little ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Super shiny, super pretty.
Once I am confident the cows are calmed down, I'm gonna kind of tip my hat in the direction of Waldo, who was a worthy. There was a huge amount of respect from one farmer to a milk lover like a cat.
Okay.
That they've been able to oust me in a milking competition. It's something we take pride on our farm, being able to be some of the best milkers in our state. But well done. I tip my hat to you. Enjoy your milk and your bell. And I'm gonna just innocuously chat to Roger about how we almost got it. Well, it was so close. It was so close.
And then departing or sticking around, at that point, what do you do next?
I'm probably gonna go and have a wander around the rest of the fair, actually.
All right. And assuming Waldo, without seeming to care, is following. I don't know if that's true, Waldo, but is that true?
Yeah. I mean, Waldo has accepted the acknowledgement of Waldo's amazingness. Not that Waldo cared about anyone's opinion about how great Waldo is.
No, I mean, of course not.
Amazingly milking a cow and getting a nice shiny bell. But yes, Waldo's following along at distance. Ding, 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 ding. If at any point Edith looks back, Waldo will sit down and start grooming and looking away, and it just happened to be going in that direction.
As the two of them make their way back to the rest of the fair, I'm going to take a quick moment to remind everyone that we are here with Day 2 of ArvCon 2022, playing our GOG with D&D/Talisman Adventures players one-shot adventure of the Pie Fight. And I am joined by Darksaber2K, Peripheral Mike, Undeveloped Bruce, Fleos, and Ananda. If you are enjoying this as much as I am, I hope you will support our cause for today, which is the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. We have raised $2,263.14, but our goal is $4,000. We're over 50%, but we'd love to see more. Every $100 of giveaway, every $100 we have another giveaway of codes given to us by places like Harebrained Schemes and by places like GOG.com and by places like Pegasus Spiele, because they have board games they've given us as well. There are also prizes for the top donators, and if you donate any amount of money, even $1, you were entered in a competition, or in a drawing, I should say, to win a exclusive painting, the original art for Alia Terra. It is a page from Alia Terra, a book of non-binary Romanian folktales published by my publisher for Icarus and Greyshade, Athos Arts. So you can get that if you jump on board too. So please join us for all of that, and thank you all for being here and watching the pie fight continue. I'm going to jump next, I believe, to the pie eating contest, which is going to consist of... actually, no, I'm sorry. I take that back, because that was... We had two people doing the milking contest. I misread that. Let me go down in another direction then. So the next one then that we're going to do is going to be Mind, who has gone to get alcohol, if I am not mistaken. The thing that I want to point out here as you're going over, so there is one place that's selling alcohol, although you notice that the alcohol has the sign above this one stall where alcohol is very clearly being sold all of the typical names have been scratched out and have been replaced with pie versions of them. So like, chocolate cream ale and strawberry ale and Boston cream mead and all this stuff, right? But that seems to be what they're doing to kind of fit the description. And you can see that there's a dwarf who's actually the bartender, who is in the process of handing out mugs to people who come and drop a couple of coppers on his stall.
So Mind walks up to the stall, and from his belt he pulls off a jug, or a bottle, big bottle. If you've seen Final Fantasy X, think Orin with the big bottle on his hip. It's one of them, and he puts it down and goes, and he bows and says, "Well met, my good sir. How much to fill this jug, for it is empty after my travels here?"
He kind of looks you up and down and, "Aye, if you want to fill up the jug, it depends on what you're filling it up with. I got me some chocolate cream mead, or you could have some strawberry mead, or perhaps you want some Boston cream mead." And he kind of goes down like that. And the impression, that you get is that the clearly most like top level of what he provides is clearly the chocolate cream mead.
I'm not familiar with this chocolate cream mead, and I consider myself a connoisseur.
It's delicious. It's got everything you need. Chocolate, cream, mead. How else could you have anything that's that well? I just said chocolate, cream, mead, and then the fanfare went off for a donation. It says chocolate, cream, mead, ta-da! And that comes to us from none other than, wait for it, Fleos, who has provided, it says, "Please take my 10 pie for Damon Runyon." That is 3142, which is going to bring us up to 2294.56. Thank God Tiltify handles all this math, let me just say. In all seriousness, thank you so much, Fleos. I appreciate that for the generosity. Thank you. 2294.56. We are so close, chat, to that next giveaway tier. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, Fleos. And yes, so you had that fanfare. So yes, chocolate cream mead. I'm sorry, you were saying, Mint.
Chocolate cream and mead. Truly the best of civilization's cuisine.
Aye.
Mayhaps, may I have a little sampler before I make my decision?
Sample? We don't give samples around here. You won't need a sample anyway. You get plenty drunk off the mug I'll give you.
And I shall take a mug, and depending on the outcome, I may fill my jug.
Okay, and so he pours out a mug of this stuff, and you can see that what it looks like is, it sort of looks like there's like whipped cream floating on the top, and then as you look, it's sort of like whipped cream, and it's kind of a milky, chocolatey liquid that you see below that.
I'm having severe flashbacks when I tried White Russians right now. That was not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'll take the jug and I will attempt to down it in one go.
All right. So you step back and take this. Now, first of all, as you're drinking, you're aware of two things. First of all, it makes sense this is delicious since it is the greatest of all pies. There's no bias there. Chocolate cream pie just happens to be the greatest of all pies. But the other thing that you notice is that it seems fine. You're like, wow, this tastes just like a chocolate cream pie. And then you're like, it tastes like and then whoa, like a boomerang, kick like a mule. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, Min.
Okay. Constitution saving.
It would be a meeting of the minds. Well done, Prince Justin. Well done. Yeah, chocolate cream pie is so good.
So it's going to be that. Oh, no, hang on. Well, a 6.
Yeah. So you're like,
this stuff's great.
Yeah, basically, you're just like, this is some of the greatest chocolate cream pie I've ever had in a mug. Also, and as you kind of step back, you're like, I don't know why, but it feels like I'm not on the ground. I'm sort of like, you find suddenly you're just sitting on your butt, basically, Mind, having kind of stumbled backwards. And that happens just as the best milker has provided a 105.44 donation. Thank you to the best milker for the 105.44 donation, bringing us to 2,400, which means we're going to get not one but two more giveaways here. Good work, everybody. You're also, of course, adding up the numbers as we're starting to make a little bit of a charge here with 2,400. There we go. Making a charge with this group. So thank you very much to the best milker. Okay, team clean numbers. Okay, yeah. So anyway, you're kind of sitting on the ground and like, woof. Yeah, you're a little, yeah, a little rough, man.
Yeah. So, well, I'll attempt to get to my feet using the aid of my quarterstaff.
Yeah,
so
let's
like planting on the ground and trying to pull myself up on it.
Let's have you make a dexterity check. If you have acrobatics, I'll take that.
Yeah, okay. That plus that. Man, I miss my macros. That's a 12.
Yeah, you're like, so you are able to, with great difficulty, get back onto your feet. And the dwarf bartender is sort of looking at you with a kind of bemused expression. And, you all right there? I don't think you want your jug full. You've already got enough full within you.
So Mind goes back to the bar and he's like, and his accent's noticeably changed at this point. He's like, God blimey, governor, that's the stuff of no mistake.
He kind of looks down at you like, right. That'll be 2 copper then.
I pay the man and go, and how much to fill me jug then?
He says, well, or you, that'll be another 2 copper. You sure you want a full jug of this? Because right now you're facing away from me. And it's true. You realize that you're now facing literally away from the bar.
So I attempt to spin round, do like a full
You do, and you do a full 360.
Yeah. It's like, there you are.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to drink it all at once. It's to last the day.
He says, all right, and he, fills this jug full of alcohol, and then you have a cork, I assume, for this thing, like the classic voomp. Okay. So he puts it in there and hands it over to you, and now you are holding on to a mug and to a jug. You are there, and I don't know if you want to thank the bartender, but you're actually now no longer standing in front of his counter, but several feet to the left of it. Not sure how that happened.
Where'd you go? My thanks, good sir. I'm off to avail myself of some more culinary delights.
And he, so he sort of is, all right, make sure you try to keep a straight path. So then you're making your way back into the rest of the fair. Am I understanding that properly, man?
I believe there was some mention of pies.
There was, and there are lots and lots of those stands of pies. As you make your way over there, we're going to jump over to where Nick has just come up to a group of these lizard bards, not bars. That's something else. They're spitting bars though, so to speak. And as you come over, you can notice, Nick, that they are, they're kind of getting into it. And as you're coming up to them, they're just like, one of them is pressing the bongos like, no, lizard folk queen, no, do you know what I mean? And there's a group of people like dancing in front. You notice there are a couple of older townsfolk who are kind of have their arms folded and are kind of off to the side, clearly not liking, this lizard and roll or whatever the hell they call these stuff these days. And you can see that there's a name on the front of one of the bongos, like you put on the bass drum for the title, and it's called The Perfect Scales. And so you're over and they're just like, da, 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 and they come over and they see you, and one of them's like, so you, and he points at you like, what are you doing? You dancing with townsfolk? And this is all while everyone's like, do the Mississippi,
Listen to me. Do you have a name?
Yeah, we're called the Perfect Scales. Do.
A little pitchy, but sure. But you individual perfect scale, are you perfect? I'm just gonna call you quarter note. I don't know why I suddenly turned to Hulk Hogan. But
What you gonna do when the quarter note pythons come down on you?
or no, let me tell you, I am the best dancer you have ever seen. You play it, I'll dance to it. So just hit it.
And he sort of is like, and he sort of looks at you like, so he kind of like puts up his hand, and they all sort of stop and and all the townsfolk are like, "Oi, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up?" Nick, I'd like you to make a perception check for me, please. By the way.
Sure thing. What am I? Okay, here we go. Oh, got to do the roll. The old.
Okay. Yeah, you notice that as everything slows down, everyone's kind of, people are like, what's going on here? And then there is a, wow. Then all of a sudden we got this dramatic fanfare because Wispy Song has donated another $100, bringing us up to $2,500. Thank you, Wispy Song. I don't know yet entirely who Wispy Song is, although I have some possible guesses. But anyway, wait. And Darksaber 2K immediately contributes 4321 with the note, "Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria." So we are now up to 254321. Check that out, chat. This is starting to get real hot and bothered down here. I love it. Thank you so much to Darksaber, and thank you so much to Wispy Song, everybody. So we are now over 2,500. Poor Triffid is never going to get, and the rest of the mods are never going to get caught up here. But yes, so they say, all right, and they kind of look at each other and they're like, well, what kind of? And the lizard says, "What kind of dancing are you good at?" Oh, I'm sorry. And I never finished with the perception check. I'm sorry. I totally got confused. Yeah. You notice that among the crowd, which is sort of like impatient waiting for the next song to begin, there are a couple of people who are walking through, and you see one of them clearly attempts to trip one of the people that's just standing there. And they kind of look sort of sullen and annoyed, but you can see that they're something was weird about that. And there were a couple of them just walking through the crowd. Then, as you're looking at that, the question comes. Thank you for the $3.14 from Hillness, thus bringing us up to $25.46.35. Y'all thought you were going to get me in trouble, but I have Tiltify doing the math for me. Ha ha ha! All right. So he says, "What song do you want?"
I'm gonna turn to the older folk that were kind of like not enjoying the music. Say, "Hey, what do you all want to hear right now?"
And they look at each other and they kind of fold their arms and they go, "Well, the best one's the one who lives in the town over. I'm talking about Elton John, you say? Yeah." And so they said, "Yellow Brick Road." "Yeah, Yellow Brick Road's a good one." And so they start with you start with the drums and you hear the bum 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 bum, right? And they start singing the lead lizard singer is doing the "When are you going to land? I could have stayed on the farm. I should have listened to my old man," right? So he's doing that, and everyone in the town, like the dancers, are all looking at each other, kind of confused. What are you doing, Nick?
I'm going to show them how to do it because obviously in my 160 years of life, I've experienced a few different dance styles. And so I'm going to set the mood. I'm also going to use prestidigitation to just add a little extra poof, while the dancing starts. I don't know, just some spark, something exciting.
Okay, so I think we're looking at a dexterity check here. I suppose if you have acrobatics, I'll take that. But otherwise, dexterity would do the job.
All right. What about performance? You take performance?
I would take performance. Yeah, they liked perfect scales before they were cold-blooded village hipsters. I love it. Okay, yes. So performance, yes, I will take that.
Thanks.
Sure.
Because I'm a little better at that than.
Why not? So and there's something where you're like, right as they get to this lizard's too young to be singing the blues, right? And as you're doing that, you, Nick, are kind of like, what? Maybe it's the S, like there's too many sibilant sounds, right? There's too much assonance, and you're like, I don't. And so a couple people are like, look at that one. He thinks he can dance, does he? So there, you didn't work quite the way you hoped for, Nick. Are you gonna keep trying? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try one more, and I just realized I added the wrong. It should have been a +5 to a +8, so it was even worse than a 10.
It should have been a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or an 8. An 8. Yeah.
So then they're getting to the let me see. Out in the woods, hunting the horny-backed toad. As they're getting to that part, you are starting to dance again. You're trying to get back into it. Let's see a second performance check from you. Now the townspeople have made a circle around you and are staring directly at you. 14. So better. You start to kind of pick it up a little bit, kind of like, pick up the notice there just a trifle. Thank you also very much, Saber, for the Prime sub. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And I assume that's because of the incredible Lizard Man Bard rendering of Rick Run. So you're doing this and you're starting to get into a little bit more, and a couple people in the back was like, oh, this boy's all right, let's go. And they're trying to clap, but as is the case with many crowds, whenever you try to clap to the rhythm of a song, they never get it right? Like they just start going, and then they're just like, the blues as they're trying. Yeah. Classic, or thank you for the 31 month sub. I appreciate it very much for the sub. Thank you, sir. And so the song kind of grinds to a halt. And the Lizard Man lead singer leans down to you and is like, all right, listen, a quarter note, I think you called him. Listen, they're going to turn on you unless you really put it together. Give us a good song. The crowd's like, we want Nick. Okay.
I mean, micro dancer. Yeah.
Exactly. So one of them says, Coglandia lady and a lady and stir for the band, and and starts doing this and singing, and one of them is playing the upright bass, and you notice that the Lizard Man who's playing the bass has his eyes closed, like doom 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 doom, and so you start doing this kind of slow dance to it. Now, are you just going to continue to do this solo, Nick? Like, are you going to try to bring anyone into this dance with you, or are you just kicking it on your own?
Was there anyone, while I was looking out in the crowd with that perception, was there anyone I noticed who was a particularly good dancer?
No. Okay. I mean, there are some who are not horrific.
Oh boy.
Roger be like strutting to the beat of the music, because he's got a good sense of time.
Maybe. Although Roger, I think, is heading in that general direction. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe you're there. Possibly, it could be. You could try to take Roger.
So if I see Roger, going to the beat, then I'll
got the whole head strut going.
Hey, love, bring the rooster up here.
Yes.
Let's go, Rooster and me. Here we go.
All of this, of course, to the music of Tiny Dancer, which completely hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. They're trying to bob. Go ahead and make a performance check. Can the mage turn cats to roosters just to give people a new perspective? I think the mage has got to work on actually holding it together for this. Thank you for the tier 1 sub gift, Triffid, to Big Boss. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Arvanaut subs, Big Boss. Thank you, Triffid. That's very kind of you. And here we go. So we have got a 17. And yes, so Roger is like, and Nick is like, and they're just like, Tiny Dancer. And at one point you look over and you see that some of the townsfolk have lit what look like burning brands, and they're kind of holding them back and forth, over their heads as they do this. And it looks really impressive. And you can see as you're doing this, Nick, that the group of people that you saw, the small group of people that was trying to kind of trip people and stuff, have sort of slunk away from the rest of the crowd as you're doing this. And at the end of this, there's a yeah, yeah. Everyone's like cheering you, like clapping you on the back. And Quarter Note says, "Not bad. If you ever want to sit in with us fun time, you can do so. I think we've got room over in the 8th Notes section." And 8th Note, who's running the bass, his eyes snap open, like, and kind of looks around. Nick, are you headed back to the fair, or are you going to continue to ham it up with the lizard bars?
Oh no, I'll just tell him I'll be here for at least the next 20 years. Just ask around. Old guy, beard, you got it. Right, there's only a few of us. And then Nick's gonna head toward the pie eating contest because it's gonna try his luck.
And as you do that, Prince Justin has gifted a tier 1 sub to Fleos. Thank you, Prince Justin, for
thank
the
you,
gift
Prince
sub.
Justin.
Thank you, Prince Justin.
I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Okay, so as you were heading over there, we're talking about that pie eating contest because we have one of those to do. Gwyn McTwisp, you have made your way over to show yourself here that there is a large wooden platform, and we have this human male in a chef's uniform, and as I said, he's banging on this pot. Pie eating contest, let's go. This is the highlight of the festival. You don't want any of that stuff. Never mind all that slot that they're playing over there. It doesn't even sound like real, Elton John. And as for the milking contest, you all milk cows for your regular life. What you doing? It's a festival, for the love of everything. You want to eat some pie, is that what you want to do? Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Undeveloped Bruce, Aruden LX4. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Aruden L. And now, oh look, I see we got some contestants already. So Gwyn, you now hear this, and he's kind of staring down at you and a lot of the people around you who look like they are ready to have this thing. And there is a table up on the platform with 5 chairs next to it. It's the last time we're running this contest, he says.
When he's looking around and sniffing quite hard so that his glasses keep sliding down his nose, so he keeps having to adjust. So he's like, What flavors of pie do you have here?
We've got a pie eating contest of caramel. The best kind of caramel pie there is.
Well, I happen to have traveled quite far and wide, and I have tasted quite a number of sweet pies. Not a fan of savory ones, unfortunately. It doesn't do it for my digestive system. Another story for another time. But I am interested in eating some of these sweet pies that you have.
And he says, no, we ain't got, he's like, well, we got no sweet pies besides the caramel pies. Come on, up you get. Pie eating contest happen to start. It's got some sugar in it.
Yes, absolutely. And Gwyn will continue hugging his books, the pile of books that he's currently carrying around, and will walk towards the pie eating contest.
So as you climb up the platform, you notice you're not alone because arriving in more or less a straight line is Mind, who is kind of weaving his way, having seen pies here, towards the stage. And the man says, Oi, you, well, can you even get up on a platform?
I make an attempt.
Make a dexterity check, please.
Okay.
Can I turn around and sort of go, oh, hello, you're a dragonborn, aren't you? I like dragons, quite friendly creatures. Can I help him up as well?
Well, you better, because he kind of stumbles forward into your arms,
Trying to get
Gwyn.
my leg up.
Yeah,
I try to get my leg up and roll onto the stage.
But I like the idea that it's like you do it like several times, like one, no, like a second time. Okay, so you get up.
Gwyn just sort of looks at his sort of large rabbit feet, and he's like, "Yes, stairs quite tricky sometimes. Hey, friend, let me help you, give you a hand here."
So you get up there, and then that leaves us. You're like, okay, so we got 2 there, but then Nick, you arrive on the scene, somewhat out of breath after all the dancing competition stuff, and there's pies to be had there, and you see that there are a couple people gathered already, and the person who has the pot with the big wooden spoon is like, oh, it's the last time I'm running this contest. If you're looking for some pies and you want to eat them and you want to win things, you've come to the right place, because this is a pie eating contest. Come on, you can do it.
Well, I like food and I like pie, so the Nick will go right up there.
All right,
so
you
count me in there.
He's like, all right, you take the third seat. Okay. Now, at this point, Edith and Waldo, I'm curious. I think you were making your way generally back towards the fair. I am not, I repeat, not trying to railroad you in this direction, because you can feel free to be like, I don't want to go to a pie eating contest, in which case that's fine. But I am curious, because this is the place where the most people are gathered, if you're headed in that direction. Waldo, I know you're kind of hanging wherever Roger does. Roger, of course, was just, you weren't that far away, therefore, when the big dance off was going down. But Edith, are you going towards the pie eating contest or elsewhere?
The pie eating contest was one of the first things Edith heard about this fair whilst on the road, and in her family a good pie is like a calling card, so the pie eating contest was of particular interest. She was slightly distracted by the cows because one reminded her of Daisy back home. However, before we make our way to the pie eating contest, I just want to clarify, they're not chicken pies, are they?
They do not appear to be chicken pies. They seem to be some kind of sweet pie.
In which case, myself and Roger will make our way forward if there are any spare seats in the pie eating contest.
There are indeed. And in fact, as you sit down, you notice that 3 other seats have already been taken. Waldo, are you going to, not caring to do so, of course, accompany up to the last remaining empty seat, or are you going to watch Roger and company from off stage?
Round? Yeah, Waldo doesn't care about some stupid pie eating contest, but is totally going to take part, yes.
And so gathering up, you now see the 5 of you are all arrayed in these 5 spots. And the people seem very interested in this because they have already, first of all, they think that they saw Min sort of struggling to get up. That's always funny. They saw Gwyn's got a bunch of books. They don't, and it was a Dragonborn, and that's interesting. Nick has already made a bunch of fans based upon the experience with the perfect scales and the dance competition. And we just saw this cat win a milking contest. So if Waldo's there, and then this other person came in second, but also has a rooster that apparently is going to help eat the pies. This is as epic as it gets, people. Okay. Like in Goglandia, this is the, you know, so there's really a galaxy of choices in Goglandia, and this is clearly the best of them. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So as you are sitting in front of your pies, the person who you find out his name is Zachary Bellin, who's the person in charge of this contest, comes over and gives each of you a spoon. And as you're looking down at the pie in front of you, you can see that the pie smells delicious, but it is extra thick caramel. Now, I happen to really like the taste of caramel. I love dulce de leche, for example, but I'm not necessarily myself so hot on like caramel taffy. You know what I mean? The super chewy stuff. And this is the super chewy stuff. It seems delicious, but probably difficult to eat. And so what's going to happen here is that you're all going to eat your pie and people will drop out as it becomes too difficult to keep going. This is a series of strength checks. The DC is going to start at 10 and it will go up by 2 every round. And we are going to see who is the last person / dragonborn / Herringun / lizard, / half elf / cat standing or sitting on the stool in this case. And so they put the spoons in front of you. They asked the lizard bards down the street to fire up a little bit of music again. Let's see if it's this one. That's what we're talking about. All right, the horse with no knight, perfect. And they say Zachary comes around. He says, "Right, you all ready?"
Ow! The cat turns into a saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, and everyone is sort of like the town people. Oh, like everyone is just sort of like reacts
Winston
a little bit.
corks
Like,
his jug and stares into it for a second, and then just corks it and puts it back.
probably questioning life choices. And
Roger
I
just
don't think that's a
carefully
cat.
just walks around and just sits the other side of Edith.
I don't think that's a cat.
Nick just like started out of sleep, just like, oh, all right.
I feel constrained to point out that as we're starting this competition, Chad, I await the memes because there are indeed 69 people watching this competition. I don't make the memes.
Nice.
I just report on them. As we are ready to go, with that said, let's make it happen. Actually, wait, no, this music's good. It works.
Can I just jump in real quick before we start eating?
Sure.
Can I cast Purify Food and Drink?
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
And you're able to do so. Now, purifying is not, unfortunately, going to puree food and drink, which might have helped this little bit situation.
Especially me.
You can't. He's not going to eat food that he doesn't know isn't purified.
That's fair enough. Yes.
I'm not a
you know
savage,
for sure. No,
friend.
I mean
I'm
that's
not a savage. I'm just purifying the food. I trust that it's been baked properly and the caramel is incredibly thick and luscious. But I don't know who's touched this. This is dangerous times we live in.
And as you do so, Darksaber contributes 69.69 because nice. And that brings us up to, thank you very much. That brings us up to, it's really kind of you, Saber. That brings us up to 26.1604. And I have to say that may put, I mean, I know Wispy Song is way up there too, but that may put Saber up in the running. Possibly. I have to look and see how much that works out to total contributions from Saber so far, but they may put you in the running for one of these things. Reminder, chat, third top group is going to get not one, not two, but 3 board games. That's right, 3 Pegasus Spiele board games. And the number 2 person is going to get this incredible, and it really is awesome, photo, which is from Prince Justin, taken of a waterfall. It's gorgeous and mounted on metal, so literally mounted on a stand. Or that one you see right behind me, which is the also mounted on metal. It is a painting, or not a painting, it looks like a painting. It's a photograph done by Rock God, mounted on metal, suitable for immediate hanging. These are pretty spectacular donations. Oh my God. And Mrs. Dunsel has just contributed $23.94. Sorry, I know there's a game going on. I'm doing 2 things. These totals. Okay, so we're up to $26.39.98. That's of course we are. Thank you very much, Darksaber. Thank you very much, Mrs. Dunsel. Thank you so much for all the generosity. This is amazing. And yeah, let's keep it going. With that said, let's make it happen. We are going to start here with this series of strength checks. So I'm going to ask every one of the 5 of you, please, to make a strength check for me, please.
Just a straight strength.
Strength check. Unless you have proficiency in caramel pie eating. But yeah.
Got 17.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to allow you to get an advantage because of Roger. Roger might be able to help you if you get stuck, perhaps.
That's cheating.
Okay, so let's see. We have got a 17 from, let me see. So this was starting with, okay, right. So it was starting with, I think it was Saber did this first. So we have got a 17 from Mind. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we've got an 18 from Waldo. We've got a 16 from Nick. Okay, we've got a 16 from Gwyn and a 13 from Edith. All right, good work, everybody. The DC was 10. You won the first round, and now the DC goes up by 2, and it's time to do it again. Now the DC is 12. Let's make a second series of rolls, please.
Mindy's actually not using the cutlery. He is just like shoveling it into his face with his hands right now.
Gwyn with a 12 just succeeds. Nick with a 14 succeeds. Edith with a 23 epically succeeds. Just
Folds it in half and eats it like a calzone.
Yeah, exactly. Edith just stares at the pie and it flies into her mouth. Sorry, not Morthwill. That would be Mind with a 12. And then again, Waldo, who continues to dominate these competitions, too, with a 21. Everyone is doing great. You folks are all amazing. DC 14. Roll again, please.
Well, I fall asleep in my pie.
I was going to say, so Mind, your jaw basically started to lock up and just so face plant into the caramel. Gwyn, what happens to you as your jaw locks up?
So Gwyn basically gets a massive sugar rush and just starts reading books as the pie eating contest is carrying on. There's like 6 books open on the table and the pie has just been pushed to one side.
Seems logical.
Yeah.
Waldo with a 20, I believe, and Waldo, you're just fine. Then we've got Edith with a 19. You are also just fine. And let's see, that was Nick. Who did I miss? We got Nick. We haven't had you roll
Yeah,
yet.
sorry, I was on mute, I guess. Oops. So am I allowed to cast guidance on myself? Is that something you allow as DM?
Well, I allow to purify food and water. The only thing I'm trying to decide is whether Roger would have a boost. I will probably provide a slight advantage with Roger when we get there. So yes, you can do guidance.
Okay. So I will cast guidance on myself,
Okay.
and then I'll do the roll. It just adds 1d4 to my check.
All right, sounds good. Also, we just got I was 2 cents off, Mrs. Dunsel says. So $10.02 more in donations. Thank you. That brings us to $26.50. Thank you so much. This is great, folks. Let's keep this up. Thank you, Mrs. Dunsel. And that 10 is not going to get it done. I'm sorry to say, Nick. What does that look like as you kind of
You just hear me, Nick, whispering to himself, okay, you can do this. Believe in yourself. And he gets it in there, and it gets stuck in that caramel toffee, and it just cannot get through. And the pie kind of to the table, and he just walks away.
Can I just say, by the way, how much that sounded like late Batman Begins series Bane voice, or Christian Bale voice, where he's just kind of like, all right, I can do it. I haven't given everything. You're not the pie eater Guglandia deserves, but you're the pie eater Guglandia needs. Anyway, all right, so that means that Nick is out.
Come out in the pie, though. That's what I want to know.
That's true. Do we have dentures out in the pie, Nick?
Nicholas has just been inspired, by the way.
Oh, well, Classicor has inspired Nick. I guess you get another shot at this, Nick.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Perhaps time rolls back and things just change. Come on.
14, that is just enough. You're like, I could still do it. All right, Classicor. You just do it. Okay, so that means we have still got we have got Waldo, we've got Nick, and we've got Edith. And we also have $3.14 more cents from Hillness, bringing us up to $26.53.14. That is what I like to see. Thank you, Hillness, very much for that generosity. And having said that, that is now going to bring us to DC 16, please, for Waldo, Nick, and Edith.
Oh, crit fail.
DC 16. So, all right. So, Nick, now I think everything you said about the, come on, you could, finally. What happens to you, Edith, because I was going to say that I would allow, actually, you know what? I'm going to give you another roll on that because I did say I would allow Roger to influence here. So I'm going to give you a one-time only advantage thanks to Roger the Rooster. 21. And Waldo with a 20, which means all that we have left now on stage is Waldo and Edith going at it. DC 18, people.
Ooh.
Hi, Garlic Tofu. Yes, been a very good fundraising day today.
Oh, I missed it.
You did, but Waldo did not. And when, what does it look like, Waldo, as you conclude your epic, defeated everyone else with the pie?
I don't care. Of course I won this stupid pie eating contest. I don't even care about pies. What even is a pie?
Well,
I get another bell.
Not a bell, actually. You are instead going to get an oversized blue ribbon. It's about 2 feet tall, and it says winner across the top. And as you are handed this winner ribbon, thank you for the follow, Pixelated Geek, you also get a coupon for 1 free pie from the shop of the winner of the pie crafting tournament. And so the pie crafting tournament, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, that's going to be happening here in a moment, you'll get a coupon for a free pie. While this is happening, I would like all 5 of you, please, to make a perception check for me.
Can I just say that the way I lost that competition was that I tried to surreptitiously feed a bit of pie to Roger. However, because the caramel was so tough, he got his beak stuck together. So I was so busy trying to unstick his beak that
I love it. I love that image. Absolutely fits for me.
Mind is currently snoring into a caramel pie with associated noises.
Okay, we've got Gwyn with a 26. Perception, yes.
Gwyn is eating so much sugar that Gwyn can see through time right now.
It's like,
And smell colours.
So Gwyn, Waldo,
It all makes so much sense.
and Edith, as you were hearing about the different prizes you're going to get plus the free competition, you can see there is a human male, and in fact it is Edith and Waldo, you recognize the boy who was competing in the milking competition, who is sneaking up on the table and is reaching slowly for the free pie coupon.
Wanna pounce.
So he okay, I was going to say, because he turns and is about to run, so you're going to pounce?
I'm going to pounce.
I would like you to make then a dexterity check for me, please. If you have acrobatics, I'll take that as
No,
well.
I meant as I'm a saber-toothed tiger, I'd like to take the pounce action.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is the pounce action?
Well, actually, it depends. Were they 20 feet away from me or were they right next to me?
I would say they're 20 feet away from you. You're right at the table, so.
All right, yeah. I move 20 feet towards a creature and then hit it with a claw attack. They must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay, so this is not dealing damage then, right? This is just knocking
If the
them prone.
target is knocked prone, the tiger can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action. I'm not saying that I would or not, but...
Okay, I love this.
Because you don't care, right?
Go ahead and make an attack against this one. I love the image that this boy is about to be slapped by a saber-toothed tiger. Oh my goodness. And by the way, this is the reason that having a high number of people really helps, because we just got a 30-person raid from DC Pueller. Pod Patrol, surrender all your treats, huh? Appropriate, because we're in the middle of a pie eating competition, and 7 raids from Stitch Pixels. 2 consecutive raids. Let's keep this up, chat. I love it. Thank you so much to the 2 raiders. First of all, thank you, raiders from Stitch Pixels, and thank you, raiders from DC Bueller. 30 raiders from DC Bueller, 7 from Stitch Pixels. Welcome to the one-shot adventure with the D&D with GOG/Talisman Adventure players. I am joined by Darksaber 2K, by Peripheral Mike, by Undeveloped Bruce, by Fleos, and by Ananda, and we are all here for ArvCon, which is a charity event to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. We have raised so far $2,653.14 out of our $4,000 goal. So if you want, please feel free to jump in and contribute and donate to that cause. And thank you all so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate that. Also, thank you to Echo Alpha for gifting a sub to DC Bueller. Things are going fast and furious. Sorry, folks, my players, but there was a lot that happened all at once there. Okay, so, and thank you everyone so much for the raids. I appreciate it. Okay, so we are in the midst of, you're doing the pounce attack. So I need you to make an attack against this person. You had a 15? Is that what you had? Okay, yeah, that will more than easily hit. So you just, just slap the kid who falls to the ground, and looks terrified as you're sort of leaning over him.
So if we just did a saber-toothed tiger potentially try to eat a child?
Well, slap a child.
Can I like perceive the intention of the saber-tooth tiger?
I'm gonna run over and try and separate the tiger from the child. Like,
okay. So you run over to do that. Waldo, you feel Mind kind of pulling at your shoulder.
I'm gonna cast.
Hold on, let me finish this thing with Mind first.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Waldo. You were saying.
Is Min strong? Is this like a strong pull on my shoulder, or because he's pretty drunk as well?
Thank you for the gift sub, Classicore, to Stitch Pixels. Thank you, Classicore.
I would say strength is not my strong suit specifically.
So you're kind of pawing at the shoulder then, like, type of thing?
I'm trying to separate the two.
Okay, up to you, Waldo. You can feel that. But I don't think
Waldo
it's
feels
really-
nothing. Uh,
Emotionally
Waldo-
or physically.
yeah, no, Waldo doesn't care. Waldo, he's a cat, you know. He's a little cat, and now he's a big cat. He's got really big teeth. He's got a pretty bell. You know, this child's probably just, you know, admiring the pretty bell up close and the blue ribbon.
I would think that's right.
No, Waldo's just gonna, you know, hold the kid down. Pretty, even gonna like sit on the kid, I guess. Just like,
How
Child is
old is
right
this
now?
kid?
10, maybe.
10.
And how much does a tiger weigh? A saber-tooth tiger.
that's pretty rude to ask.
Not that you care.
Don't
you
ask
know.
a tiger its weight.
I'm just thinking of breathing and such, you know.
Many
Sit on
hundreds
his
of pounds.
legs.
You hear like,
Sit on his
"Oh,
legs.
my legs!" No, so
Snap.
yeah, it's sort of pinned down. The kid's definitely not moving anywhere. I'm sorry. No, please. Sorry, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't me. They made me do it. And the chef, the person who was banging the spoon on the pot, comes over and is like, and he kind of looks very curiously at you, Waldo, like, you know, like at the sort of doesn't know what to make of the fact that you're sitting on this kid.
Waldo would like to just kind of like curl up and sort of lie down, but in a way where he's only just over the legs of the kids, just to extra emphasize that he just doesn't care, that he's just, you know, captured this kid who's going to steal the prize and ruin the entire festival, and Waldo basically just saved the entire day. He doesn't really care. He's just going to lie down.
I've said that seems totally reasonable to me. Wow, and Sherian has just donated 109.57, bringing us to 27.62.71. We are charging towards 3,000, chat. We are charging towards 3/4 of the way towards goal. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, not even numbers, just saying for all those who care.
Team Chaos.
Team Chaos. So with that said, so you're lying on the legs here, and the chef comes over, you know, sort of is like, well, what are you planning to do then? It wasn't my fault. There were a couple of them. They gave me gold if they said to give me, they would give me a gold if I stole it and gave it to them. He says, "What are their names?" I don't know them. But they're bakers. I think they're bakers. They're mad about the festival. Mad? Yeah, because they make cakes. And you realize all of a sudden that Edith, this is the same, and Waldo, that these are the same. That the sound of it. These might be the same ones who had run through and tried to create a stampede, and might be the same one, Nick, that you saw coming over and trying to, trip people when they were dancing in front of the stage, etc., etc.
Would I have recognized them? Like, do I know people in town, or is this just way too big of a town to know people?
You might know some of them. I guess the question would be who it was that you would spend time with typically in a town like this. And you can tell me, like, what would Nick sort of focus his attention on?
He's really kind of obsessed with who's being naughty and who's being nice. So the troublemakers he'd know pretty well, I think, but also the really good people. So either of those groups.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
Excellent.
And so he says, I'm sorry, I please let me go. I don't want my mom to get into trouble. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. So Zachary, the chef, banging the spoon on the pot, everything, sort of looks at all of you collectively, Waldo and company, as Darksaber 2K contributes $3.14 because pie reigns supreme, and I quote, bringing us to 27.65.85. So he kind of looks at all of you, I guess starting with you, Waldo, because you're the one lying on the legs. About what you want to do.
Can I just help the kid up?
You could, if you wish. I mean, you're going to have to get the big saber-tooth tiger off his legs first.
I'm going to move over to the 10-year-old child, and I'm going to attempt to lift him up. Seeing that there is a saber-tooth tiger sat on the legs, I'm going to bonk the saber-tooth tiger on the head with my quarterstaff and go, move. Go on, shoot. Ow. Don't. Please don't. Just move.
I'll assist with moving the child.
Well, Waldo wants everyone to know that he didn't care about holding this child down anyway. And, you know, if people don't want to appreciate him for saving the entire festival, then that's completely fine. And he just gets up and walks away.
Walks away with his ribbon, by the way, and the bell. I love the idea that you're a saber-tooth tiger, so you have this little ding, 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 like a little bell around the neck somehow.
Yeah, as he pounced on the child, there was a lovely little tinkle.
Just before he hit the child, yes. All right, so he's now up, and the child is to his feet. Thank you. I'm sorry. I won't ever do it again. And Zach says, well, shall we let him go then?
He's
Do we
only
know
a
who
child.
these people were?
They're the bakers, I think. I don't know where they are, though.
While all this is going on, I'm not getting involved with arguing about what the kid's doing. I am scanning the crowd, looking for anyone who's looking shifty or trying to move away, or just watching the crowd.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. As you do that, Anonymous has donated $34.16, bringing us up to $2,800.01. This is seeming more and more like a Price is Right competition. Actual retail price. Thank you very, very much to the anonymous donator there. 2,800.01, chat. We are doing really well. Let's keep it up. We have actually raised now, we have raised $2,000 so far today. So we've done great. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it going.
We can do better.
We got farther to go. Yeah. Having done that, as you're kind of looking and scanning around, you think maybe, Edith, you do see a couple of these people that are kind of skulking about towards the back of the crowd. But before you can say anything, there is suddenly from the main square the blaring of a loud trumpet. And everyone around you reacts with excitement. Like, it's the final tasting! Lord Shadowfury's going to make a decision! All right, let's go! The pie tasting! And vendors begin to close up their shops, and everyone, having seen the excitement die down with this, surges towards the main square to vie for a spot to watch the festivities. And this, of course, is the main event. It is the pie tasting competition, and you are aware, having seen some of this in signs through the festival, that the top pie will be given a contract to provide pies to the rest of the town during all major events of the next year. So that's a big deal, right? If you're a pie maker and you get to do all that, that's like steady, consistent work, so it's a big deal. So everyone is super, really excited for that. And so Edith, that quickly, there's a river of people quickly that kind of overload any person that you thought you could have seen as they're heading towards it. So for the 5 of you who are there, are you heading in the direction of the crowd? Because they all seem to be gathering for this final tasting, or not. Go ahead, Waldo.
So just to check my understanding, did I win the...
You won it.
So
You are the winner. You are the one. You won both contests, actually.
did I... No, but did I get the little token
You got the
for a
ribbon.
pie?
And you did get the token for a pie, yes. In fact, Zachary gave you a second because of your help in retrieving the first one.
Excellent. Is Edith gone into the crowd, or is she still around?
I haven't said yet. Would you like me to?
Yes, please.
Okay, having scanned around and seen some of these people that were on the outer skirts who were looking a little bit suspicious, I'm going to follow the general crowd towards the final tasting. I'm assuming these people would have kind of get taken along with the swathe of people moving towards the town square anyway.
That's probably true. Yeah, there's definitely no one who's sort of holding, staying behind from what you can tell.
Okay.
So yeah.
In which case I'm going to go, come on then, Roger, let's go and have a look about what this final tasting's all about. I heard them mention some bakers. I haven't seen any cakes around here, which is a bit odd for a fair. And I'm just having a chat with Roger about it's all pies and no cake. It's a little odd. And then, just making my way to the town square.
All right. And as I send out a tweet letting people know the money that we're making, give me 1 second. I heard all of that, by the way. the... Okay. Right.
I just turned to Waldo and I was like, see, you got 2 certificates and the ribbon, and you didn't crush a child. Congratulations. Did I see? Did we notice the people moving into the crowd, the suspicious people?
I would say you probably would have, because what did you roll on the perception? I'm sorry, did I miss that?
26.
Okay, I beg your pardon. I don't know why why I was only... So yes, you would have seen that too, Gwyn, then yes. You saw them back there, but similarly that once the bell rang and the crowd of people kind of started heading over, then you lost sight of them. But they certainly didn't stay behind anywhere.
So they've sort of disappeared into the crowd. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. They're going with the flow, so to speak. Okay. So I'm going to, we'll bring folks over. And as you are heading over to this, since we are at about 45 minutes left in this segment, I'm going to just reset for a moment and say you are watching the amazing D&D with GOG / Talisman Adventures crew of Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, Undeveloped Bruce, Fleos, and Ananda, who have joined us all today to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. They have, since the beginning of this, I think raised about $600 so far in this segment, so they're doing quite well. We are up to 2,801. We are very close to 3,000, which would be 75% of the way towards our goal. So please spread the word, #ArvCon 2022. Please bring people in here. We've had raids today and really good turnout today and everything. So it's all going super well. And and by the way, after this event is over at about 7:30 Eastern, give or take a few minutes, then we will set up for our concert, which is going to be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight and will feature Kilgore Trout. It will feature Chrono Wolf, who should be well known to GOG viewers. It will feature Zach Clay, and then it will finish with a concert from Indy. So you're going to want to make sure that you're here for all of that as we continue. All right, in the large open square, as you folks are heading in that direction, there is a simple wooden table and a single chair which have been set up under a magnificent, colorful pavilion. A carriage pulled by fine black stallions approaches the table, and as the gathering crowd murmurs in excitement, the carriage stops and opens. A male dwarf, almost as wide as he is tall, waddles out of the carriage with a joyful grin on his face. He's dressed in elegant noble's clothing, and he waves to the assembled crowd as they cheer enthusiastically for him. And as you're sort of sitting there, a bunch of you can hear a number of people around going, "There she is. There's Shatter Fury. That's Lord Commodore, bless him. Oh, he looks even bigger than last year. That's what makes him good at this job, And everyone is like talking to each other. And you can see he kind of waddles in and is waving to everybody and, well, welcome all, that sort of thing. And everyone seems to really like this guy. He seems super friendly. He does need a little bit of help. It takes a while for him to get to the stage and then to climb the stairs and then to stand behind the table. This all takes some time. And he then says, "It's been my pleasure for the past 50 years or so to be not only the ruler of this land, but also to be the ruler of your stomachs." And a fanfare goes off at exactly the right time to show us that Fleos for Lord Shatterfury has contributed $20.22. Thank you, Fleos, for that. Thank you so much. We are up to 2023. Should be a good year, I'm assuming. Let's hope so. 2023. Thank you very much for that, Fleos. And so I'm concerned for Lord Shadowfury's immediate health. Fortunately, he is not, because he says, "Over the time, I've tasted literally thousands of pies, and every one of them has gone directly to my body in the most pleasing way. Yes, it can truly be said that I am as much pie as I am dwarf." And he starts to cough and laugh. They all roar with laughter and approval. And they say, "Captain Shatterfury, 300 more years of pie tasting." Like everyone is, shouting and chanting, and they all seem really happy with him. And he says, "Well, I am going to be the final tester to decide the winner of the pie competition. And so I'm ready. Now, he gets ready to sit down behind the table, and you notice that the chair that they've brought out for him is clearly metal bound and like reinforced, so like it's this. So as he sits down, you hear a slight creaking, but the chair is very solid. Like just, we're getting the job done right here. So he prepares, and the first pie to be brought out is a large cream pie. There is this fluffy whipped cream that is stacked almost a foot high. And as Lord Shadowfury prepares to dig in, the music stops, and there is a hush of anticipation that falls over the crowd. His spoon comes closer to it, closer and closer.
Can I make an action?
Say again?
Can I do an action?
Sure you can.
I'm assuming the other pies that he's going to be tasting are close by.
You don't see them yet, though. They are down below. They might be like kept under a cart or in hiding. Right now, you just see this one big pie.
Okay. I would like to cast Find Traps at second level, which is in a range of 120 feet.
Okay.
And it will, for the purpose of this spell, includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you would consider harmful or undesirable. Basically, I want to find out if any of these pies have been interfered with.
Got you. Okay. You can absolutely do that. The pie, as you sort of do this, you do not get nothing sort of sounds off to you or seems off to you. Nothing seems to indicate that it's trapped or dangerous. However, Edith, I would like you to make an Arcana check for me, please.
I can do that. 16.
You hear someone or something saying, "No, pie cake, cake pie, pie cake." Someone is rhythmically chanting something.
Are there any?
Cake pie.
Are there any guards specifically of Lord Shadow Fury that are kind of close by, accessible?
There are several standing at the corners of the stage, although they seem to be smiling and, they haven't seemed to have heard anything.
I would like to make my way, not so it looks like I'm going to rush the stage or anything, but make my way over to these guards and in a kind of an audible whisper, so maybe Lord Shadow Fury would hear as well. Just say, I think there's something that you might want to be aware of. Isn't that right, Roger? I think that there's some shenanigans, and I basically repeat, as a close approximation as I can, the spell or the casting that I've heard.
The guard hears this and is kind of like, "Well, pie, cake. What do you mean?" And then suddenly there is a little bit of a from the front of the crowd, and breaking free and sort of pulling themselves up, a person turns around, and Nick, you recognize this to be one of the people that was tripping people, and both Waldo and Edith, you recognize this as the people who were skulking in the crowd and also the ones who were doing, trying to create the stampede before. And one of them yells, "The tyranny of pie is over," as they hold up a scroll. And suddenly something happens to the cream pie. It begins to grow and increase in size and broaden, and the townsfolk begin to scream and shriek. As you see, and I'm going to pop this up on stream, as you see the terror, the horror of the pie monster. It is made from cream and malice. And as you look, this pie monster grows and grows and with that, everybody, I would like everyone here to roll some initiative.
And I really want to just highlight Arudinel, who just said, "Choose the form of your destroyer."
I tried to think of the most kind thing I could think of. Mr. Stay Puft. Let us get
Cream
some.
and malice.
Let's get some combat music going on.
Cool.
No, not
23.
that. I want other combat music. Okay.
Now, I've just got the Baldur's Gate assassin attack theme in my head right now because that's all I've been playing all week.
Okay. Let's see what we've got. So
Mal ice cream.
As a
Mal ice
note,
cream.
this this cat has 52 hit points rather than 2.
okay, yes, that is an appropriate adjustment. that would have been difficult otherwise. Okay, let's see. So, Min, you got a 23. Gwyn, have you rolled yet?
Yep. Just doing it now.
Oh, okay.
22.
Gwyn has got a 22. Okay, Gwyn has got a 22. Right. Waldo has got a 12. Let's see. Nick has got a 10. All right. And let's see. And then we've got Edith has got, is that an 18? What am I
18,
looking?
yeah.
Okay. So we've got an 18. Now I know what to say to Mrs. Horam. She asks if I'm hungry. So let's see. 18. All right. Pie Monster. Let's see. So. Okay. And by the way, when this happens, Lord Shatterfury falls directly backwards in his chair. And his guards run over to try to help and protect him. So it looks like you're going to be dealing with this legendary pie monster on your own. And let me just say, do not mock, all of you in chat, the pie monster, for it is sweet and full of danger. Okay. It is going to get that. Okay. All right. So let's see.
The Necronomicon is not a cookbook.
Yeah. Necronomicon.
It is.
Necronomicon.
Well, it has nom right in the name, so you
Yep.
can see where the mistake comes from.
Exactly. Okay. All right. First up to act is going to be Mind. You see this pie facing you.
Okay.
And by the way, you notice that the ground around the pie monster looks to be slippery and slick.
Right, how far away is the pie monster?
I mean, now that the crowd is, sort of moving out of the way, you're probably 40 or 50 feet from it, but it's sort of moving.
I hate to be that guy, but is it 40 or 50? Because that actually matters with my movement.
Let's say 40.
Okay. I am going to run directly at the pie monster then.
Okay.
To engage it in hand-to-pie
Hand-to-pie combat.
Hand-to-crust combat.
Okay. All right. So you head directly towards it. Now, when you get within 10 feet of it, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw because suddenly slippery.
Yes, okay. Luckily. Right. 22.
Okay, that is enough. So you kind of like slickly slide, towards it. All right, you may proceed with your attack.
So I come in sliding on the floor, one fist out, flames surrounding it for a
Okay.
magical fire punch.
Okay.
2 magical fire punches, in fact. Let's hang on, let me just double check my attacks. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to roll 2 attacks here, both with magical fire damage, a 19 and a 19.
Okay, both of those are going to hit. Is it possible the pie is just misunderstood and would like to be friends? I mean, I don't know. It's conceivable. Excuse me.
So magical because level 6 monk, and fire attacks because I am Way of the Ascending Dragon, which
Okay.
gives me a few different elemental choices for my unarmed attacks every time.
Sounds good. In case this applies to you, I want you to know that this thing is immune to being knocked prone. I wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll bear
go
that
ahead
in
and
mind.
upside down pie.
Yeah, exactly. It's made even worse. Okay, roll your damage, please.
Okay, so that would be a 10 and a 10. God damn.
Wow. That's all right. So you, and as your fists go into it, it's just, and you bring them out, and like your fists are now covered with cream, and you're just kind of like,
which is starting to blacken.
Yes, it's
because
just
of
like,
the fire.
bleh, right.
The smell of delicious but burnt cake is now starting to fill the area.
Exactly. Now that was your attack after your move, and at the end of your turn, it makes a bite attack on you using its legendary action.
Hang on.
Oh, go ahead.
I
Yep.
have one extra thing
sorry.
up my sleeve because I haven't used my bonus key actions yet. So I'm
Oh
going to
yes,
spend it.
please show me your bonus key actions. Let's see
So
it.
I am going to spend a key point to trigger my patient defense, which gives me the dodge action as a bonus action. Which means for the rest of my turn, all attacks have disadvantage.
Good stuff. So this attack that's about to happen is going to have that disadvantage then. So we are looking at a 15.
Miss.
Okay. So it misses on your attack, and sorry. I had to make sure that was in there. Okay, now it is the next up is Gwyn, I believe. Gwyn, you were up next. You see Mindy Moon, the dragon, has just entered the fray, so to speak, and now the pie monster is attacking it.
Oh goodness! Oh my! I'm not quite sure we have time for this. I have things to do and places to be. I'm not 100% sure. If only we had more time. If we had more time, I'm going to cast command on the pie.
Okay.
I'd like it to try and make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. We're going to see. I also need to see about the level cap if there is one on this. All right, give me 1 sec here. Let me just check something on the command spell. I want to check on that. Okay, so creature you can see within range. Must succeed. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, all right. It's going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Your DC is 16.
All right. Does not make that. What
Excellent.
command are you going to give it?
Halt. So the target doesn't move and takes no actions.
Okay.
A flying creature stays aloft, provided it's able to do so.
Okay. So that's good because it was next to go. So instead it... Although, actually, no, I guess not because it's got the legendary actions that it used. Okay. So it stays there. At this point, Lord Shatterfury has been picked up with incredible difficulty by his guards and lifted to his feet. Okay, Gwyn, and you're standing where you are. It halted in the way that we described. And that's going to lead us to Edith. You were up next.
Thank you. Can I just clarify something? Just
Sure.
because I only picked up this character sheet a little while ago. I can dual wield, so I've got 2 attacks. But I can also do... If I attack in this round, I can do an extra attack. So that's 3 total.
I'm sorry, say that once again, Ananda. I'm sorry.
I've got I dual wield,
Yep.
so I've got 2 attacks.
Yep, that's right.
But I also have an extra attack.
That's probably on your bonus action. So you would take an attack, which would be 2 attacks, and then a third attack. So yeah, it works out to 3.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. I'm not going to do this turn, but what I would like to do is for my before I attack, I would like to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
On the blobby cream pie creature. So for this, I choose a creature I can see within range and mystically mark it as my quarry until the spell ends,
Okay.
which is an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever I hit it with a weapon attack.
Yep. So
And
you've
I-
marked the pie.
Yes, I have marked the pie. is
Okay.
in my sights. And then I'm going to first attack with my sickle,
Okay.
which is
Now, when you're going to get close, just so you know, when you're going to get close, I'm going to need you to make that dexterity saving throw, please.
that's fine. I'm rubbish at ranged, so yeah, I'm going up close. Do you want me to do the dex saving throw first?
You got to do that first because it depends on, that's going to affect what happens next.
Okay. What's my got proficiencies of +4. Oh, damn.
That unfortunately means that you are knocked prone, Edith. So you're going in and then whoop and just doosh on your back along with Roger, who scrabbles along too.
Is Roger not prone as well?
Roger is knocked prone with you. Yes. You have a prone rooster and a prone ranger.
Okay. Well, I don't know that there's anything else I can do. I've got unless I can take my action to stand up again.
No, because you were moving into it when that happened. This is part of its effect, I guess I would say.
Yeah, understandable.
The prone ranger and Roger, exactly, Keystone. Okay, Edith. So you do that, and that's going to lead us to Waldo, and Nick is on deck. What would you like to do, Waldo? By the way, I have been loving the fangs. Just to be clear.
No, these aren't fangs. They're one pie. They're my pie tickets.
Oh, I thought they were.
Waldo
your teeth.
doesn't have any pockets.
I see.
Important question that determines what Waldo does.
Okay.
When the pie grew, I can see from the picture it looks like it's in a metal tin. Is he still in like a giant metal tin, or did he grow out of the metal tin?
He is out of the metal tin. He has left behind the metal tin of his home. As we have left behind the metal tin of our 2023, because Darksaber 2K with 4451, the pie was a lie. We have now gone up to 2864.74. So, thank you very much there. Thanks, Darksaber.
In that case, it's a little bit embarrassing, but when you're a cat, most of what you do attacking is like with your mouth, but he's carrying the pie tickets in his mouth. So while everyone's distracted, the saber-toothed tiger turns into a Palomino centaur.
Okay.
Anyone who does see him may notice that he bears a striking resemblance to the celebrity adventurer Wander the Worthy, who, because of his celebrity adventures, Scion might be like, oh my gosh, I think that's like Wander's son, which is why he's been going around as a cat, because it's so embarrassing.
Amidst the screams of the fleeing townsfolk, you hear, "Oh, I think that's Waldo, is it? Yeah, I think that's Waldo." You know, as you're flying.
And just to balance everything, Waldo then casts 3rd level spell slot Conjure Animals.
Okay.
And conjures one beast with challenge rating 2 or lower. He conjures a saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, so conjures a saber-toothed tiger along with himself, who is now a centaur, if I understand that correctly.
To clarify, we had a cat.
Yes.
And then we had a saber-toothed tiger, and now we have a centaur and a saber-toothed tiger.
And a saber-toothed tiger. We also have another $3.14 from Hillness, who welcomes our new pie overlords, he says, and they are now up to 2867.88. Good stuff. All right, so you've done that. You've transformed over. I think that used up your actions, or is that a bonus action for you, Waldo, to do that?
The transform was a bonus action. The
summoning was an action, though?
Was an action,
okay.
Yep.
All right, are you going to move anywhere, or are you going to stay where you are?
No, I'm going to stay where I am, thank you.
Okay.
It says that I need to roll initiative for the summoned creature.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Just while you're doing that, Gwyn just looked over and he's like, oh, how many tricks up your sleeve do you actually have? Wait a minute, I think I recognize you from Samuel's Guide to Famous Centaurs.
Oh, no.
I think I have that book here. Do you mind? After this, could you sign it for me?
Oh no, that was not a. That was just a 20.
So, sorry, was it a 20 or a 22?
Nope.
Was it...
No. I didn't roll a d20. I just rolled.
Oh,
20.
you just did the number 20 plus 2. Okay. Right.
The
So
cat
18.
has 18.
Okay, so that will come into play next turn at its appropriate spot. Oh, does the tiger does it share your stats? Or does it have its own stats?
The tiger has its own stats. They're just the standard saber-toothed tiger large beast.
Do you have the dexterity for the tiger by chance?
Yeah, it is 14.
Okay, Edith, what's your dexterity?
My dex is 12.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure I noted that. Okay, so you've done that, and you're not moving anywhere, Waldo. You're staying in your rough same place.
Yeah, and I say to the cat, attack the pie. That means that it'll just attack the pie whenever it can.
Gotcha. All right. That's going to lead us to Nick. You are up. You have seen what has happened. It's been a lot.
It's been a lot. First thing, I take a look at the newly arrived centaur. I'm just gonna. I know you. Oh, never mind. So just about how big is this pie? Are we talking like a 10-foot diameter pie, 20-foot diameter? How large?
This is a large creature, so I would say the pie is probably, let us say, 7 feet high in terms of the height of the cream, and then probably extends out, although it has kind of like pseudopods and is like as it goes forward. So that's probably a good, it's probably 8 by 10. You know, 8 by 8, 8 by 10.
Okay, thanks.
Feet.
Yeah. So, inches, 8 by, no, okay.
Yeah, 8 by 10 inches, no.
So, wow, I just forgot my name, Nick. Nick.
I would too if I saw an 8 by 10 pie, so I don't blame you.
It's alarming. You see him turn inwards if you're looking at his face for a moment. He goes, "It's been 84 years. On comet!" And he like shooting from his hand, 6 tiny meteors, minute meteors even go flying into the air. And 2 of them go shooting down into the top of the pie as Nick casts Melf's minute meteors.
Very nice. I like all of that. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Rudinel's contribution of pseudopods to this. I'd like to thank you for your contribution today. Also, what's up, Rock God? Okay, so down come the minute meteors. I don't think there's a saving throw for this, right?
Yeah, there is actually a dex saving throw. I'm not sure how dex.
I don't understand how the pie is going to do that, but all right. Let's see. Well, 14.
Unfortunately, the save is 16, so
it is hit by the meteors. Okay,
the pie is baked.
The pie is baked. All right, what are we looking at for damage?
All right, so it's a little weird. I can send 2 each turn of the 6, so there's just like 6 floating over my head, then 2 of them go flying toward the top of the pie. They do have a 5-foot radius explosion, so I'm trying to hit like on a top area that won't hurt anyone else if possible. If not, then I'll just aim it toward the buffest looking person as well. So
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's going to explode out next to the one who's right. I think actually Edith will be saved by the fact that she was prone, but I don't think Minda's going to be quite so lucky since Minda's up close and personal. So you are going to get hit by pie, sploosh, and explosion of meteor. So for those 2, what damage are we looking at?
All right. So that is. It's going to be 2d6 fire damage for each one. So that 46.
Okay.
46.
Go ahead and roll that 46. And does the 5-foot person away also take that, or do they?
Do I get to roll a save against this?
Right. That's what I wanted to check.
So since it's 8 feet high, like I can't hit it on the backside, or I can't hurt Mind. If not, then yeah, he just has to make a dexterity save too.
Okay. I'll roll for that. There you go. 23.
23. So that
you
is
just
a
like
save.
Drunken master out of the way. Yeah.
Flip over a couple, cartwheel past a couple more.
And then
that is really low damage.
Yeah, the 2 ones. There's 6 and a 5 though. Okay. Actually, in the end, that ended up being...
I guess it's very average.
That's very average, I was just going to say. Okay, so... all right, so smashes into it, and as you're hit by this, or as it's hit by this, I should say. Okay. So, that you hit it with those meteors, and I assume you're staying where you are, Nick, which is...
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
I was going to say out of the realm. Okay, at the top of the round, we get back to Mind, but before Mind can act, you hear a buzzing sound coming from somewhere, but very high, and Mind, you are suddenly horrified to see a swarm of fruit flies swarming from around the pie and swarming around you. Now, the effect this is going to have is that you are going to have disadvantage on your attack, Mind, against the pie monstrosity.
Okay, and Fliz just told me I'd still take 6 damage from the save, so just give me a second.
Okay, 6 damage from the save, and also, as we begin your turn, I'm going to need you to make another dexterity saving throw because you are inside the slippery radius of the pie.
Right. 16.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. So you are managed to avoid being knocked prone, and now
what
you
was
are
the
there
eff-
with the pie and the flies.
Yeah, what was the effect of the fruit flies again?
They will give you disadvantage on your attack roll because they're like... You're
Right.
you know.
Okay. I'm going to grab my versatile quarterstaff with 2 hands, and I'm going to thwack it very firmly onto the horrific cake monster.
Okay, and it is horrific.
Yes, so it's going to be that, but at disadvantage. So 14.
14 will hit. You'll be surprised to know this AC on this pie is not super impressive.
That's very nice. Okay, so that, because I was 2-handing it, gives me a 1d8 plus 4
Okay.
for the first attack.
All right.
Yeah, this might get a little complicated, so I'm compartmentalizing. So that's 7 damage.
Okay, 7 damage to the pie monster.
I follow up by headbutting the pie monster.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay. So let me just double check that. It's gonna be yep. Okay. And then again at disadvantage. 11.
11 is not going to hit. That's not quite enough.
Okay. But because my melee weapon hit, I am going to spend a point of ki to strike the weak points of the pie monster with a stunning strike.
You see some
means
burned crust, maybe. And
I need a con saving throw from the pie monster right now.
All right. That is going to be a 16.
It is not stunned.
Okay. All right. Not stunned pie monster. Okay, now normally it would take a legendary action at this point, but it will not do that because it was halted by Gwyn McTwisp. And speaking of Gwyn McTwisp, I assume, by the way, Mind, you're staying, excuse me, within engagement of this pie monster, I'm guessing? Mind, are you staying right next to the pie monster?
Yes, because because basically I think movement. I'm melee moving out.
I figured it wouldn't make much sense. Yeah,
really gonna help. Yeah.
All right, Gwyn. In that case, you were up. What are you going to do?
Unmute myself first. I'm going to basically there's a small pocket watch in Gwyn's hand and he's leaning on his quarterstaff and sort of twiddles with the winding mechanism and tries to hold his hand forward and cast Guiding Bolt at 2nd level.
Okay. Let us make that ranged spell attack, which is what I believe it is.
It is, yeah. So it's that plus that, and that would be a 25.
That definitely hits it without any problem.
Excellent. So that would be 5d6 radiant damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
5d6. That's going to be a total of 19 points of damage. And as a bonus action, Gwyn's just going to go, yes, well, I think I can probably do better next time. If only I had more time. And he's going to keep twiddling his winding mechanism of his watch and use one of his channel divinities to regain that 2nd level spell slot.
Very nice, very nice. He's going to do that, and at the end of your turn, the pie monster is going to take a legendary action to attack the creature that has recently hit it and headbutted it within melee range, and that's Mind. So he's going to attempt to bite you, Mind, and is going to, let's see, that is going to be a 10, which is probably not enough.
That is a miss.
Okay. So that leads us now to its turn. I was on the end of Gwyn's turn. Now on its turn, it is going to do something strange because it's and it's going to spit a gooey mass of cream at Gwyn, and it is going to, let's see, I would say, how many people would be within 15 feet of Gwyn? Not Waldo. Thank you, my darling child.
I don't think I would be
what?
close.
Okay. Thank you, honey. It's not a crawfish this week. Thanks. I've just been brought to dinner by my lovely child.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So, sorry. So who said they were within 15 feet? Not Waldo. Edith, Nick.
I'd
I'm
imagine
not sure.
not
I
me.
went forward, but
You're probably not either because you went prone when you were heading towards going melee, so probably not. I know you didn't like
I
going
was
prone, but
out
it may
of-
have helped you a
yeah.
couple times. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Nick.
I'm not sure who would be close to me.
I would have stayed back.
Because what I was wondering was Gwyn was staying back too. That's why I was wondering.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Min, not Gwyn. Oh, I actually would probably be close to
within
Gwyn.
15 feet anyway, I would say.
Yeah.
Probably within 15 feet.
So this glob, and what happens is I need Gwyn and I need Nick to make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Mm-hmm. Bear with me just 1 second because I have a thing for this. Okay, dexterity saving throw. Saving throw for dexterity is that. Ooh. Oh lord, I've forgotten how to roll dice on the roll 20.
Okay, we're looking at an 18. So you managed to dodge out of the way, Nick, but not so much Gwyn. Gwyn,
No,
touch
I'm
this!
not. However, I'm gonna use my lucky footwork to roll a d4 and add that to it, just because I can, even though it's probably not going to do anything.
Yeah, sadly, that's not going to be enough. Your face, you are blinded by cream. So you are literally blinded, and the effect that has on you is that you cannot see, obviously. You automatically fail any ability check requiring sight. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls will have disadvantage until the end of your next turn. So you are blinded by the pie. Blinded by the pie. Okay. So that was that. And then for its second action, it is going to attack Mind because Mind again continues to be right next to it. And it rolls the exact same thing it did the last time. Not very lucky for the pie monster. So that's going to be a 8, which I assume is going to miss again. Is that right, Mind? It is going to miss, I'm guessing. Okay, that is going to lead us down to the saber-toothed tiger. By the way, Waldo, do we know what the hit point total is for the saber-toothed tiger?
Yeah, 52.
52. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, so it is saber-toothed tiger time.
The saber-toothed tiger is going to do as it told. Run at pie. Claw pie.
Okay. When it gets to within 10 feet of said pie, I need it to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
/roll D20 plus 2. 21.
All right, so you make that dexterity saving throw with no problem, which means you can now leap and attack the pie with the saber-toothed tiger.
Going to make a clawed attack. 6 to hit. 9.
A 9 is not going to do it, I'm sorry to say. You kind of scratch off below its crust. Sorry,
Nice.
saber-toothed tiger. And you've already moved an attack, so you're right next to it. That's going to lead us to Edith, and Waldo's going to be on deck. Edith, you are prone. You can use your move to stand up if you like, or stay prone. It's up to you. And then you can take your other action.
I'm going. Is it going to take my action to stand up?
It will take your move action to stand up, but you'll still have an action after that if you wish. So you could move again, or you could attack with it.
I will take my move action to stand up.
Okay.
Is that my whole move action, I'm assuming?
That's your whole move action, yes. But you have another action. You could move again as your second, action and basically like double move, and that would be it for your turn. Or you could do something else with your action.
I am. How far away am I from Hyman?
Within 10 feet. Maybe 8 feet away.
But that's not going to be close enough to for a melee attack.
I mean, I would allow you to at least step forward so you could engage in melee. You're like right next to it, so I would allow you to do that.
All right, in which case I would like to do that, please.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack on this pie.
Okay, I am dual wielding, so first attack is going to be with my sickle.
Okay.
So that is +6. Second. That's 20.
Okay. Let's see. 20 is going to hit. Yep.
Excellent. And with my sickle, it is 1d4 +3 slashing, but I've also got the hunter's mark as well. So I'm going to roll that separately if that's okay. Otherwise, it's just going to get confusing.
Okay, sure.
So that's 1d4 +3. So 5, and then the hunter's mark is another 1d6. So that's another 2.
Okay, so we're looking at
that's
7 so far.
7, yeah. And then I'm going to make my second attack, which is with my my trident, my pitchfork. I'm going to use a fork. I'm going to try and get a spoonful of cream.
Okay.
It's like, come on, Roger, we've got this. We've eaten bigger pies than this. And then I'm going to go for attacking with my trident.
Okay.
Which is 8. Does 8 hit?
8 is not going to hit.
Okay. But because I attacked in that round, I also can get, with the extra attack, be my my bonus.
That would be your bonus action. That's right.
Okay,
And-
so I'm gonna do.
Go ahead. Yep.
I can do an extra attack as my bonus action. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to attack again with my trident.
Okay.
It's another +6, which is an 8.
8 is not going to hit again. Sorry.
However, Roger is raring to go. He does love a good scrap, and he's been like clawing at the ground.
Okay.
Oh, well, this is going on. So having failed abysmally, bearing in mind, you asked me for my dex earlier on. Roger has a higher dex than I do. I just want to point that out.
The power of the rooster.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to turn to Roger and I'm going to go, I'm sorry, I just got a little bit distracted by all the sugar. I'm feeling a little bit of a sugar rush. You go for it, Roger. And then I'm going to go, bark, bark, bark. I don't actually speak rooster. And what I actually said there in Roger knows is actually quite an offensive term if you do speak rooster, but he kind of lets it slide. Roger has multi-attack, so he's got 2 attacks as well.
Okay.
One with his beak and one with his talons. So Roger, I'm just trying to figure out his attacks. I'm just trying. It's like melee weapon attack +5 to hit, It's reach 5 foot. Does I'm assuming Roger
Yeah,
can reach as well.
That's fine. Is Roger though? So Roger's got his own, your animal companion basically that's attacking. So
Yeah.
yes, okay, yes, then that's fine. Yeah, and you're within 5 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Do I just roll a straight D20 or do
That's
I
fine.
have
Yeah, you can do that. And +5.
I'm just going to +5. 19. Roger's.
That will hit. Good shot from Roger.
Right, Roger is hungry.
While Roger is rolling his damage, Quadrillion, what does this button do? It donates $100. So we are $29.67.88. We are within $30. Or no, is that right? $33.12, I think it is. $32.12 actually, of reaching 3,000, which would be pretty amazing if we could reach that in that segment. So thank you very much, Quadrillion, for the support. Thank you for the contribution. And !donate to support the Damon Running Cancer Research Foundation. What have we got for damage from Roger here?
I'm just trying to figure that out. On the sheet I have for his beak, which is what we've just done, it just says 1 piercing damage.
Okay, well then that sounds right.
For his talons, which is his second attack, it doesn't actually say what his damage is.
Probably 1 to 2, I would guess.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Still +5 to hit with his talons.
Okay, so if he hit with his talons just then, I would say we're looking at like 1 to 2. So I would roll. Let me see how do we do this. Roll. I think if you roll a 1d4 and subtract. Actually, no. On roll 20, you should just be able to roll a 1d2. Now that I think of it.
Okay, I haven't rolled to see if I hit with his talons yet.
Oh, he gets 2 attacks, this rooster?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this one is just 1 point of damage to the pie monster. Okay, go ahead. So I've got that registered.
Yeah,
so now you can attack with his talons.
Yeah, his actions are a multi-attack. The rooster makes 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its talons.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Then yeah, go ahead and attack with that. Fleos has just contributed another $33.22 to bring us to $3,001.10. We are over 75% of the way to our goal, chat, and we are not even halfway through ArvCon. Amazing. Let us keep it up. Thank you, Fleos, for that. Thank you very much. Okay.
Roger rolled a nat 20.
Of course he did. 2 full damage. MV Rooster, MVR. Okay, so the pie monster feels the hit of the talon. My one weakness. Okay, and you're obviously staying right next to it, having done all of those things, I would assume, Edith.
Absolutely. Edith is just shouting encouragement. You go, Roger. And so on and so forth.
He's going to take his second legendary action, which comes at the end of your turn, and he's going to attack you, Edith. His attacks, I want to be clear to chat, have been horrific. So as well as my dwarven mercenaries were fighting earlier against Adventures of Middle-earth, they have been doing just as badly. It might hit anyway. 14. Is 14 going to hit you, Edith?
My AC is 15.
So it will just miss. Okay. So unfortunate for him, but anyway, that was his legendary action. Okay, that leads us to Waldo with Nick on deck. All right, Waldo, there's been a lot taken out of this pie. You also notice that the swarm around Mind of fruit flies is starting to kind of spiral up and off of Mind, which seems odd, but in any case, you are right next to it. Oh, and I guess since you are also within... You didn't charge yet, right? You told your saber-toothed tiger to charge. So what are you doing, Waldo? Because you're outside of that 10-foot radius.
Waldo's going to stay outside of that 10-foot radius. His hair is fabulous, and he can't afford to get, like, gunk in it.
Sure.
Not that he cares. Like, if he got gunk in his hair, then whatever, you know. When I said that I felt that I was prepared for every eventuality in this campaign, I didn't actually mean combat. But I'm hoping this will be useful in a way that might ruin everyone's fun. Waldo would like to target the giant pie and cast Dispel Magic as a 3rd level spell.
All right. Dispel magic, 3rd level spell. That might, let's see. All right, so I'm going to have
He
to
also
check 2
spent
things.
like he's doing this as an action, but he spent a bonus action's worth of time in just pure appreciation of Roger.
That's a bonus action. Okay. Let's see. So,
I'm going to pronounce this very carefully. Roger clucks in appreciation.
okay, let's see. That would be... Okay, so this might work, but you're going to need to make an ability check using your spell casting ability. So you are going to have to... Right. So, in other words, you're going to have to make an ability check using your spell casting ability for this to work, Bruce. Waldo. So if you can hit it, if you beat the difficulty check on it, you may successfully dispel the magic on this thing. But it is a higher level than the spell you're using.
That's right. And just to clarify for everyone to know, Waldo doesn't actually care if this will work or not.
That's very important.
Yeah.
I do care that Configuration Queen says we reached pi as she contributes another $140, leading us to 3141, which is again amazing. We're up to $3,141.10. What an incredible fundraising day we've had so far, folks. Almost $1,500 raised so far. Thank you. Let's keep it up. Thank you so much, CQ. Okay, so let's see it. So you rolled a 13.
Waldo doesn't care. I told you. He doesn't care. It's fine.
Calculate the 1. Let's see. Not quite enough. So it does not dispel. Because you were using that at the 3rd level, right? You were casting it as a 3rd level spell. Yeah. So it does not, unfortunately, dispel. It's a good idea, though. But it does not work out. And so, Waldo, I assume you're not moving any closer because of the whole, fabulous hair, etc.
Yeah. And to move closer would be to, think that he cares at all. And all this, like, not caringness that was endearing when he was a cat is a little bit bratty now that you see that he's, like, a teenager who's, like, the son of a celebrity,
Absolutely. And it does seem to have, this spell does seem to have somehow possibly weakened it. As a programming note, I am aware of the time, and we will wrap up here within 10 minutes or so. Probably less, actually. I'm going to try to wrap it up in less than that. So I am aware of the time, and I'm sorry we're running slightly over. I'm aware that that's a thing, so I will get done as fast as I can.
Blame Roger.
Yeah, exactly. Blame Roger. And Darksaber 2K has Chaos will triumph this day with an extra $10.47, bringing us to $31.51.57, which is amazing. Thank you. $31.51.57. Thank you. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Saber. Okay, that's going to bring us to Nick. You are up. The pie has been hit and hurt.
Right, seeing that my my meteors are maybe not minute enough for the situation, I'm gonna leave the other 4 just kind of like orbiting around my head for now.
Okay.
It's a concentration spell, and instead I'll pull out a sphere with like little speckles floating through it, almost like a snow globe, and I'll look intently at the pie, and I'll say, "On Donner," and I will cast Chromatic Orb. Sorry, that was an old man voice enough. At 3rd level, doing thunder damage to the pie.
I thought that's what you were saying with On Comet, and I was like, is that... No, it couldn't have been what you said. Anyway. Okay.
So this is 5d8 thunder damage.
Nice.
Let's see, what's the save on this thing? It's a ranged spell attack. Okay, so I've got a hit, and that is, let me see. +8. Okay. Roll 1d20 plus 8. 14. I'm not feeling that's good enough, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more.
Okay. I'm waiting. I'm not saying anything yet until you decide
Okay.
what you're gonna.
So as part of my features, I have a favored by the gods trait, where if I miss an attack roll, okay, I guess I gotta figure out first. Did I hit or did I miss?
You did hit. It is
okay.
not great on AC. So go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, so that is, come on, big damage. And you know what? I'm going to spend a sorcery point because I can do that
Okay.
to cast Empowered Spell where I can reroll up to 5 of the dice. So I'm going to reroll that 2 and that 1.
Okay.
One more time.
Yep. Hit the pie one more time. 11
All
instead.
right.
So we're talking 21 minus 3
sorry.
is 18. 18 plus. So it should be 29 if I'm counting that properly.
And 21. Yeah, 29.
You'll be happy to know that it's more than 29 because thanks to the Dispel Magic that was cast, though it did not succeed in disapparating this thing, it did succeed in reducing its defenses and increasing its vulnerability. So when your lightning rains down upon it,
It was thunder. Sorry, it was thunder.
thunder. Oh, even better. When thunder hits it and just and the pie is like burp, 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 and then and this massive pie explosion. Cream goes everywhere. There are a bunch of moments. Fury, I have to. Lord Fury is on the chair, having leaned back afterwards. Cream coming down, doing this, and you hear "worst when there's nothing." Sorry, it's an inside joke for anyone who ever saw Flashdance. Anyway, Cream rains down on all and sundry. There's a moment of slow-mo where the townspeople are looking up, and one boy in slow, oh wow, with pie. They are just absolutely covered with pie, and the pie is utterly and completely destroyed. And the town, after a moment, sort of erupts and woo, and they come over, and Lord Shadow Fury eventually gets over to you, arrives over to you and says, it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I can't believe this happened. Where's the guard? And the guards come over, and they have with them the 2 that you have continually seen, actually 3 of them, who are the cake bakers, who have been the ones throughout the entire festival. They've been searched, and the guards turn over to Lord Shadow Fury 2 large kitchen knives that were being carried as weapons, a magic scroll, and a total of 15 gold pieces. And Lord Shadow Fury says, What is this? Explain yourself. And the baker's like, it's always about pies. Cakes deserve some attention too. And Lord Shadow Fury says, never mind about that. You know very well that people voted in someone who they thought would like pie. You could have done things through the democratic process, but no, you had to do something different and instead try to force your dessert choices on others. Well, that won't be allowed today. Take these cake bakers to prison. And the bakers just throw themselves to the ground, and they're like, I'm sorry, the festival disrupted our business. We had to try and stop it. If you send us to prison, Lord Shadow Fury, we'll destroy our businesses and our families. Please, anything. And Lord Shadow Fury's, ugh. And he turns to all of you, and he says, well, you're the heroes of the festival after all. What do you think should be done with them? And he points at the 3 bakers.
Edith is just pausing for a moment from her and Roger making pie angels shapes on the floor.
Yes. Pie, by the way, continues to fall from the sky. Do you remember the end of Die Hard where the papers, the money that just keeps falling? Mm-hmm. That's what this is. Pie just keeps falling.
Kind of just wiping the cream out of her eyes. And kind of sits up with Roger next to me, and I go, well, I have to say, although they've behaved very badly, maybe there could be both a pie competition and a cake competition next year. I don't mind being a judge of that. And turn around, and then Roger's going, No, Roger, you can't have all the cake. Remember your cholesterol levels. And then I carry on with the conversation.
Well, Shadow
Quinn's
Fury
nose
looks at the
just
other four of
twitches.
you and is like, "What do you think?" He says, "What?
Quinn's
Well,
nose just twitches. He's like, I like cake. I could be a judge.
and he nods slowly. What are you? What about the rest of you? You there? What was your name? And he says, Santa Larson or Klaus Larson or something like that. He's looking at you, Nick.
Nikolaus Mira, get it? I have lived here since your great grandparents were born. Please. All right. What are your names, you three? I can never remember. Sorry, I've done this twice now.
The three in your party, you mean?
The three bakers.
The three bakers. And he's just, well, I'm Nick. And the one's like, I'm Rick. And the other one says, I'm Candle.
Oh, Rick, Dick, and Candle. All right. So, I mean, never mind. Whatever I'm putting you down on the naughty list, first of all. And then I'm going to use a sorcery point to quicken spell, and I'm going to cast Bane on them, if that's okay. So they just need to make a charisma saving throws.
Okay. Okay. One of them is going to make the save. The other two won't.
Okay. And so the others that don't, they start to, like, I don't know what my Bane would do. They start to get like green holly growing from their face and eyes, pulling them down. You never do this again, or you're going on the naughty list for the rest of existence. Brother, I don't know what happened.
What is the brother? You know what I'm saying, brother. And you hear, when it comes crashing down like a hurricane. And the pie is like falling down.
I take my log, which I use as a quarter staff, and I just bonk him on the head very lightly. And
okay,
just don't punish him. That's enough. Whatever.
And so Shadow Fury turns to Waldo and to Gwyn and Min and says, "All right, and what about you?" And he looks at you, Waldo, and your tiger.
Waldo and his tiger don't care. Waldo's just gonna be like, "What's it got to do with me? I don't care. You're the ones who have the judicial system around here. It's a bit weird that you get other people to make decisions for you." And he goes and then ignores the guy and then goes up to Edith and Roger and just like, "I got these earlier. Whatever, you can have them. I don't care." And gives her the pie tickets.
Oh my God, that's so incredibly generous of you. How about we share a pie together?
Yeah, fine. Sure, fine. Whatever.
While this is happening, Gwyn, the Shadow Fury, turns to you and is like, "Well, and what are you, Gwyn? What do you think should be done?"
I believe...
Yeah, you, Gwyn. Not Min, Gwyn. I'll get to you last, Min.
Honestly, I could probably present to you a 15-point business plan to make it so that both cake and pie could function quite equally, but I just don't have the time. Fortunately, I already have one in a book somewhere in my backpack, so if you'd like me to dig it out, that's absolutely fine also.
And he nods and he says, "All right, then." He turns to you, Min, and he says, "I saw you staggering around, but, well, you fought pretty well against that pie monster, so you are a hero too. What do you think should be done with these three?"
I believe they acted out of desperation just because they felt that their voices weren't being heard. And I take a swig from my jug of mead and then I go, so clearly, cake and pie must learn to coexist. You forced them into this situation out of desperation.
And he kind of,
In that mug?
maybe. Well, but how can cake and pie work together? And one of the bakers sort of whispers in the ear of Shadow Fury, and he says, "That's right. There's only one way to solve this problem, and it's thanks to the heroes of the town that we've done it. Next year, the festival will be called The Only Thing Combining Pie and Cake Together. Boston Cream Pie. And all the town's like, oh, that's right, that actually is a cake. That's actually a cake. And as we pan back from a cream-filled, pie, cake-filled place, we bring an end to the pie fight. Congratulations, GOG players! That was so much fun. My God, that was great. I was so excited for the Pie Monster reveal because when I had found this adventure, I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever. That was really, really awesome. Not only did we raise a lot of money for Damon running, but we had a lot of fun doing it. I will start on the right. Sorry, Anand, I know we ran a little bit over. I'm sorry, but we're closing up shop now for this part of things. How did you feel about our session today? Did you enjoy the pie-stivities? And where will the folks find you next?
No apologies needed. I had a blast, and if I may request more one shots where I can bring back Edith and Roger, then I
don't lose these characters. That. I mean, yeah.
I want Roger in my everyday D&D life. I had an absolute blast. Thank you so much, Arv, for inviting me. It was really nice as well to play a campaign with Fleos and Bruce as well, because we haven't got to role play yet together in this kind of setting. But yeah, I've had a blast, and I want to say a huge congratulations for the amount raised so far, and also a thank you to chat and anyone who's donated, and please keep donating. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. No, we got a long way to go. And Echo is quite right. I believe this is your first ArvCon, Inanda. So,
it is.
So thank you for being a part of it and for staying up so late. You're part of the world, and for keeping up the festivities. And thank you so much for being a part of this. And we will see Ananda back here. When are you going to be streaming over the weekend or stuff like that? Or
I'm actually throwing in a bonus stream tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow, all of next week. A normal schedule will resume, and then at some point we'll announce when we're going to do D&D over on GOG next month.
That's right. Awesome stuff. Thank you very, very much, as always, Ananda. Thank you as well to Fleos. Thank you for the donations today, Fleos, and of course, thank you for being just awesome, and for playing a very super subtle reference to something else. It was the first part where you was like on Comet. I was like, what? And then when you're just like, oh, daughter. I was like, and I just was dying at the thought that somehow this kept changing into Hulk Hogan, and I was like, I don't understand. But it was great. I really liked it, and I hope you enjoyed the experience as well. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
It was so much fun. I was sad that we reached the end, and time is up, time is beyond up. But I was having so much fun with Nick here, and it was great to role play with Ananda today, and it was great to meet Bruce and play with Bruce for the first time as well. And it was just, and to hang out again with you other three and get to play D&D together again. Oh, yeah. It was a dream come true. And just thanks so much for inviting me to be part of this year, and being able to come back and play with you guys. And congratulations as well on your progress so far. You are going to smash the goal for sure.
I hope so. It looks like it, and you folks are a big part of it. Thank you, Fleos. When are we going to see you? When are you next up on GOG or streaming or elsewhere, or on your own channel, etc.?
Yeah, I guess I should be on GOG in about 2 days' time on Monday, just a little later than this current time. So pretty early for the European folks, but decent time for those a little west of there, or east if you go far enough. And then I'll be on my own channel on Saturday morning, continuing Rise of the Triad. So
good stuff. Thank you as always, Fleos. Really appreciated it. And thank you as well to Undeveloped Bruce. This was also your first ArvCon, Bruce. So thank you for being a part of it. You did some serious good work with that Dispel Magic, which almost could have ended it outright, but it definitely weakened the creature regardless, which was quite smart. In addition to that, the constant, I care, I don't care. Leading up to this, Waldo was just dominating all the competitions anyway. So it was pretty epic, and was fun to see that character develop. How did you feel about the pie stravaganza we were in here, and where will the fine folks find you next?
Hello. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really liked, I had it in my head where I was going to arrive and do that, summon creatures before turning into a cat the first time to go to the festival, because then I could have had an extra 8 cats and I could have been going around as a herd of 9 cats. But then I was like, I might need that spell slot. So, you know, glad that I saved it.
Worked out.
That was really fun. And a lot of appreciation to you as well. It's not always easy, like dropping into a campaign, you know, like Talisman Adventures, and this one coming into a group of, you know, or some of the people were strangers. It can be a bit awkward, but I've just not felt any awkwardness at all. It's been really great and lovely to play with all of the GOG people. You can find me next pretty much just on the Talisman Adventures campaign at the moment. I'm still waiting to have fiber in my new house, so I can't do anything. The internet doesn't exist. It's very sad.
Bring fiber to Bruce's house. Make this happen. You should just show more pictures of your awesome dog, and maybe that will convince them to bring out fiber internet to your house. So, I don't know.
Yep. I'll email them directly to OpenReach.
Always a pleasure. Thank you again, Bruce. And always a pleasure to have Bruce with us. And also, of course, always a pleasure to have Peripheral Mike with us, who got to play Gwyn McTwisp, who was, I actually really like the character that you were starting to put together. And that command spell actually was pretty useful in slowing that thing down straight off. I had to like look over it a couple times. I'm like, this really does work exactly the way that he's being used. Like it's just, in this particular case, because, the pie monster actually has more wisdom than you would think, but still. So that was impressive as well. And ultimately you had some good things I think you were doing with your character, in addition to the pie eating contest and all that kind of good stuff. How did you feel about the session today, and where will the fine folks find you next?
I absolutely adored it. I always love playing D&D with my adoptive adventure family like you guys. I absolutely adore it. I can't wait. Again, more one-shots would be fantastic. This is my first one-shot, actually. So I'm really pleased with this.
Nice.
I've never played. I've only ever played long-form campaigns. This is my first one-shot, so I wasn't 100% sure what to expect. But yeah, I love playing Gwyn. I love playing with the other characters. I love the interactions. And I'd just like to know that as you kind of all, as a lasting moment, as you all gather around in the sort of town square and everyone's cleaning cream up, Gwyn just looks at his watch. He goes, oh, I'm late. Clicks his watch and just disappears after casting Misty Step, and you just don't see him again.
Right, I'm done then.
Yep, that's it. I'm late. Click.
That's really
funny. I absolutely adored it. If you want to follow my exploits, including my strongman training, you can follow me on many social media networks at Peripheral Mike. Otherwise, just stay tuned and I'll be streaming when I'm able to.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mike. As always, great pleasure and good work today. And last but certainly not least, the memorable performance of Minimew the Dragon, who entered, fought the pie. Now, I don't know when you made this awesome monk character if you expected that you'd be using it up against a massive pie monster. But, I mean, listen, I think that Bruce Lee missed the boat. Like having a mirror maze fight is one thing, but a pie monster fight, that's a whole other ball of wax, honestly, or cream in this case. It was pretty awesome to see you wailing away there. And, of course, the Drunken Master stuff was a lot of fun, too. It felt like there was a very active festival, one might say, for Mind. How did you feel about the session today? Where will the lovely folks find you next?
I mean, this was just absolutely amazing and hilarious. Like everybody.
And you're right, by the way, the chat was great too, by the way. I just wanted to say, you're right. Chat was awesome.
The party members, you, the DM, everybody brought their A game. Not that they don't usually anyway, but oh man, this was hilarious. So much fun. Just like the cat winning all the contests and be like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I said I don't care that I brought that I won the contest.
This was great. And getting to play with Flayos again, because seriously, Flayos, we need to get Flayos in more often.
I know.
It's always a good time.
Talk to Flayos, a scheduler, man.
And I definitely fell in love with the monk classes. Like when I was putting the characters together, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I actually look at this class like the last campaign we were putting the character together? It's insane the amount of stuff you can do with this. Like I have so many abilities I didn't get to see tonight, like flying. Like I can literally like move, dash, jump into wing flight and just all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep.
But even the bits I got to do was fun, very, very fun. I mean, I liked the bit that my character changed voice when he gets drunk. That was something like literally that.
Yeah, that
second
was
I
funny.
decided-
I was like, the first time that happened, I'm like,
something
what?
I didn't come into this with a plan. That was just like, this might be funny. Let's do it right now and see how it goes. And I really liked that. It's just suddenly like completely different person. But yeah, this was fantastic. Everyone's been fantastic. Again, I love ArvCon. It's a great cause, and we have a great time every year. And yeah, I look forward to the next. Well, I look forward to the next ArvCon, but the next D&D session will be a lot sooner.
Yes,
which is also
true.
good. But I'll be back tomorrow. I'm over on GOG tomorrow. I'm going to be blowing off some steam with a bit of Postal 4. It's had a few updates, so I'm going to check it out again and see how it's measuring up now. It's a good time. A lot of random chaos and people on fire. Maybe that's just me. That tends to happen a lot. And I'll be back on my channel on Monday, carrying on with more Baldur's Gate, because I finally actually got to Baldur's Gate, only 50 hours in.
Yeah, it just took a little. Yeah, exactly. It took a little while, but I'm really grateful to Saber as well, and I am glad, Saber, that you got a chance to play D&D for the first time at ArvCon, as we talked about, and then became such a big part of the campaigns we do. So I'm glad that was the case, and for your generosity and all the generosity from the players in giving of their time and their donation money as well. Also, I think I have to double check this, but we are at 3151.57, which means I think that this crew may have moved into the lead. I think that you actually did raise the most, because I think it was over 1,000. And I thought that Adventures of Middle Earth might actually have that little bit sewn up, because they raised like 900 or something. But no, I think you guys pulled it out. You folks pulled it out today so far. So we'll see. Now, of course, Eberron is coming tomorrow. It's going to be a 7-hour marathon session. So we'll see what happens with that. We got the concert tonight. We've got the special event with the Rick Riordan Presents authors tomorrow night. And then Monday, we've got 2 sessions, including one with the Damon Cancer Research Foundation scientists. So there are still others to be heard from, but really wonderful work and chat. And it was an incredible blast and so much fun. And you folks were great. And thank you so much. Chat, can we get some love for the awesome crew from GOG that I am so proud to be able to stream along and among? And that, of course, is Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, Undeveloped Bruce, Fleos, and Inanda. Thank you all so much, everybody, and may the pie be with you. I will see you folks soon.
Thank you so much, Arv. Have a fantastic rest of the event.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye for now.
Enjoy the rest of ArvCon.
All righty. Yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun. So, where that leaves us now, chat, is as follows. We are not yet finished, because we have one last event to go tonight, and that is going to be our concert. Now, the first person who's going to be leading off this concert, who would have been leading off right around 8 o'clock, was going to be Kilgore. But Kilgore's internet has been, as he's been talking about, disastrously bad, because some people decided that they thought it would be a good idea to, watch TV and, do all this stuff so that Kilgore can't do his internet. And, I think that, there are good causes, and clearly this is a good cause. And so I don't understand why they don't get that. I feel like they just don't understand. Anyway, it's fine, because what we do have, even though we will not get Kilgore live, we will have Kilgore in some capacity. And specifically what I mean is we are going to actually have a video of Kilgore performing from what I believe happened 3 years ago, I believe is what this is. So this is 3 years ago that we're going to be, that Kilgore sent me the video for. So we're going to be playing, and then we're going to be playing that. That's going to go live in just about 5 minutes. I have to set it up or so. Then we're going to start it. When that's over, we're going to have about a 5 to 10 minute transition period, probably 5 minutes if I can do it. And then we're going to bring on Chrono Wolf. He will be on for about somewhere in the 40 to 45 minute range. And then I will bring in Zach Clay. Zach Clay will be with us for, again, 40 to 45 minutes or so. And then we will wrap up the concert segment of the evening tonight with Indy, who has closed out things for a long time. So I am very excited to be able to bring all these musicians on board. And let me remind everybody again that we are doing this to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. So that's !donate. Right now we are sitting at 3151.57. I would love to see this thing close in on like 3,500, so that we would be only $500 away from our goal tomorrow. Then we could get to that goal and for, and pass it. And once we get past the goal, then we can start thinking about, can we hit our record? Because last year we raised $7,000, doubling our goal. Could we break that this year? I think it's possible. And we'll see if we're able to do it. In the meantime, I'm extremely thankful to all the mods, especially Triffid, who's been doing a ton of this, who have been doing all the giveaways, which just continue to run and continue to run because of the generosity of the community. So thank you so much to the mods. Thank you to the tireless nature of this. So it's going to be great. No, I appreciate that, Kilgore. And I know the whole bit about the fiber. I was really happy to get it myself back in here. So I totally get that now. So with all that said, what are we up to now, actually? We're up to the Rock God has covered this over now, and so Rock God has picked up on this. Thank you, Rock God, for that. And we have a $2,600 milestone. So we're only $500 behind in terms of this, but that's just because of everyone's generosity. So give me just about 5 minutes. I am going to turn off my camera here. I'm going to get this thing set up, and then we will be back with the video, Kilgore's taped concert, followed by the other live folks being here as well. So thank you all for your generosity. Keep donating. Keep spreading the word. Hashtag ArvCon 2022. And I'll be right back to you folks in just a few minutes. Hang tight. All right, everybody. We are back, or rather, I am back, I guess I would say. We are back, and we are ready to go here, I think. So again, for those of you who missed me talking about this before, this is our concert. We're going to be starting here in about a minute and a half, basically. This is going to run about 45 minutes or so, 43 minutes to be exact. When it's over, I will then move over to Chrono Wolf, who's going to be our next person on the Price is Right, so to speak. And then when that's done, we will move to Zach Clay, and then finally to Indy. So that's the plan. And again, please spread the word. Please let people know that we are here. We've had great turnout all day. We have had great, obviously, donations all day. And again, I'd love to see this get up to 3,500 if we can. We're sitting at 3,151.57. This one that you're about to see is the only taped performance because of poor Kilgore's internet here. But this was for ArvCon, but it happened 3 years ago that this was being done. I think that this was to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation 3 years ago still. So I think that was still the case. And as Kilgore said, this is the long-haired part. So you'll be able to see these people sort of commenting. It was? Okay. So you'll be able to hear that as a part of this as we go through. And yeah, you're going to get a chance to see this as we make this. So remember, even though this is taped, Kilgore's in chat and can still talk to you about what it is you're hearing and speak to all of it and all that. And also, you'll be able to donate during this time. So let's see how much we can raise during the concert festivities, folks. For all my musician fans, and I know there are a number of you, please make sure that you can donate as a part of this. It is 8:10. That means it's time for us to start. And so I am transitioning over. There we go. Let's make that donation happen. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the world of Kilgore Trout. Please, from 3 years ago, Kilgore, take it away.
So in any case, enjoy. Everything good? Yo. Audio and everything is okay? That was called the theme from the Rick and Bob report. I didn't name it. I don't even know if it's a real show, but there you go. Everything's good. Excellent. Okay. And actually, my thumb is not So let's try this.